Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. The Blues back in action tonight. They take on the Dallas Stars. Pregame at 6 right here on 101 ESPN.
Go Blues! Woo!
Let's go Blues. Puck drop at 7 on the Blues Radio Network. Again, you can listen to it all right here on 101 ESPN. So last season, heading into the Four Nations face-off, obviously that was a turning point for the Blues last season, who were also struggling going into that Four Nations face-off. How much were they struggling? Well, they were 8 points out of a playoff spot, 55 points through 56 games. Right now, believe it or not, for as bad as things are, they are currently 8 points out of a playoff spot with 5 games left until the Olympic break. Carey, you're going to listen to this.
I don't want to.
I looked up. I saw Carey's face.
Hey. Come on,
you look kind of disgusted, but you're going to listen to this, Carey.
Here's the thing for Carey real quick. Sorry, Anthony.
No, you're good, Jamie, please.
You're
Handle
doing
this.
You're doing a hell of a job. Carey, had this never happened before, I would be with you. I'd be like, come on. Like, what are we doing here, right? But it has happened. Mm-hmm. And if it's happened once, why can't it happen again?
Because it already happened once.
But it can happen again.
Carey was saying the same thing that he's saying right now last year.
He
probably
was.
The same day.
He was probably the same.
Almost virtually the same day.
Find the audio.
You know
Find the
he
audio.
will.
Find the audio.
He probably went in and deleted it.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm not at work anything back there.
That's a lie. I watch you with your computer. You know what's going on.
No,
I really don't know what I'm doing.
You don't know how to do that.
I might take the whole day just sitting here on the computer searching for it. But you know what? We have somebody that has went back and found audio before.
Yeah,
please do.
So we need that guy to maybe...
or we could have somebody just piece it all together so it sounds like
Let's do that too, yeah.
Hi, I'm Carey Davis.
And Anthony, as you were.
Yeah, so like I was saying, right now, currently, the Blues are 8 points out of a playoff spot with 5 games left until the Olympics. So really, they can actually be in better shape, guys.
They can.
Going into this Olympics than they were in the Four
How many
Nations.
games left before the end?
5.
It's a 5-game heater going into
Could
the
be a
break.
5-game heater. Never know. 47 points through 52 games is where the Blues were. Or Blues are. So we've seen the Blues play better hockey as roughly. I mean, they played better hockey lately.
They have. It hasn't resulted in.
I don't like your
wins.
face when you say that.
He's
Playing
telling the
better
truth.
hockey of late.
You stop.
It just hasn't resulted in wins.
Listen, I don't know what's going on with you today. You rolled in with this piss-poor attitude, and it's just carried all the way through.
I had flashback when I saw Joe Brady got hired. I'm sorry.
You know what they say, right? Leave that at home.
Oh,
Don't bring
my
that to
God.
the field.
Listen.
Right?
You're not a Bills fan, you're all right.
Not at all.
Not yet.
No, won't happen. Yeah, I like your logic, Anthony.
Oh, it's not even logic. These are
I like
cold
your-
hard facts.
These are stats and facts.
I like that you say that. I do have one issue.
You have lots of
Well, I do have a lot of issues, but
He's
this
got
on
one.
this one issue. Thank you for clarifying.
No problem. My pleasure.
Carey knows.
8 points back. You mentioned that there are how many teams in the Western Conference, Anthony?
There are 15.
16.
16.
Yeah. Well, 15 is a good number because that's where the Blues are. They are 15th, and there are 16 teams, which leads me to question, like when you got, I don't know, 14 teams in front of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But Carey, can I just, for a second?
I'm just saying.
No.
If I'm wrong,
No, listen.
tell me I'm wrong.
What I like what you did there is you went with factual numbers.
That's
right?
all the stats and facts.
So, Anthony, if we're going to go down that road, can I please just entertain you with some numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many points do you get for a win?
2.
2. The Blues have 30 games left. Potential?
60.
Yeah, 60 points, baby.
This is
Look at that.
sick.
Put you over 100 points.
Stats and facts. Yeah, you know what?
You want
Numbers
to go
don't
numbers? We'll go numbers,
All right.
buddy.
Let's go get 60 more points.
So here's the question then.
6-1-8, a 5-game heater. They can't even win 3 in a row.
We said that, hey,
You're the same piss poor attitude as Carey.
we said the same thing last year.
You did.
5 in a row, 10 in a row. They haven't even won 3 in a row yet.
And then they
They're
won
heating up.
14 in a row.
Exactly.
They're heating up.
14? I thought it was 12.
14 straight home games.
Oh, okay. Stats and facts.
Could
Facts.
this team have a late season surge? I think we can all agree that, yes, it's possible. We saw it. If so, why? Or if you're Carey, why not?
No. Why? Tell me why. I'm here now. Hell, you brought me here. Tell me why. Tell me why it can happen.
Excellent head coach.
It happened before.
History. An excellent head coach with a proven track record of turnarounds mid-season.
You know I will tell you all this. You got me.
Productive players. Veterans that have not yet reached the projections like the back of their hockey card would tell you, which means a regression to the mean from a positive standpoint.
Wow, Anthony's
It's called in a great attitude.
I just got a cold
factor.
sweat there.
I wouldn't say do. This is just, look,
Anthony, one other thing, too, that you're not overlooking, you just haven't said yet, is that Dylan Holloway, Robert Thomas have been out for an extended period of time. Dylan Holloway for sure, and Pius Suter. When those guys come back, it's like getting 3 brand new players. It doesn't cost you anything.
And it doesn't cost you anything. I wouldn't say it's like a trade.
It's similar to a trade.
Better.
It's better than a trade. You don't have to give anything up. You just get it. It's kind of like the Dodgers TV contract. There's no risk involved. They just get money handed to them.
I'm okay with it. You know what? You all have so much positivity. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go on a 30-game heater. Damn a 3-game. Jamie said it.
He's back.
30-game heater.
Yeah,
60
Carey.
points. Because
Pretend you're the Steelers. I want the same passion from you.
Did you watch that Steelers team play the Houston Texans?
Yeah.
Did you hear me have any passion about what was going on?
You were passionate, just...
I was passionate that the season was over. I was certain that the season was over and they were headed out of town. Family vacations, most of them.
Yeah, I think most of them left in the first quarter.
They might have.
Why don't we go through the teams that are above the Blues? And there's a lot of them.
No, Marshy.
No, hang on. Walk with me here.
Everybody.
Walk with me, Jamie. You'll end up liking this.
How are we holding hands?
Interlocking.
Interlocking.
I just want to see if Marshy's an interlocking guy.
We're interlocking.
Yeah.
Dead fish and hand in hand.
All right, we'll start with the Jets. The Jets are not the same team they were last year.
No.
They're not.
Not even close.
Calgary Flames, you believe in them? They blew their chance last year. Blackhawks, still a young team. I don't believe in them.
Nope.
Nashville.
Nope.
They're all over the place. They don't even know what the hell they are.
Seattle Kraken, you believe those guys?
Now that wheels are going to fall off of that thing.
How about the LA Kings?
And we just saw them. Not worried about that team.
You can beat that team. San Jose Sharks, another young team.
Another team is going to crash and burn, no doubt about it.
All right, and then
I should know.
The Sharks, they hold that final wild card spot. Utah Mammoth, they've been a problem for the Blues. We're going to leave them out. But that final wild card spot, I don't believe any of these teams, though.
No.
You're right. You don't believe in them.
I don't.
But we do believe in our Blues.
I have one more question, not to be a negative.
Here it goes again.
Nancy.
Bad attitude alert.
In order for this 30-game turnaround that you speak of, one of my favorite stats that I think gives you a good picture, a good indication of how well your team is playing is
WAR?
Point differential. No, I hate that one. Goal differential. I actually hate WAR. Goal differential, run differential, point differential. When you talked about the Blues being the bottom in the Western Conference, they're actually the last team, second to last team in all of hockey.
Go ahead, keep going.
Where are they in terms of goal differential? Anthony, I ask you. Where would you say?
In all of hockey?
Yeah, every team.
Probably 29th.
Probably not.
Probably 32nd.
Yes.
Tied with Vancouver.
Which means 31st.
But wait, which means... Can you imagine how good they can be?
Okay.
If they're the worst right now in goal differential, all they do is change that just a little bit, and they're going to start leapfrogging some of these teams.
Oh, yeah.
Them, baby.
Well, the only thing that I heard from Carey there is that the arrow is pointing up.
It's pointing.
Yeah. Can't point down.
Can't point down.
This is why you play 82, Anthony.
Yeah, it's down. Your ground is down the bottom.
We talked about playing a
Can't
full
go any
60,
Yeah.
right? And the Blues have rarely done that this year. But
Hey.
I'm just stats and facts. That's
Yeah,
what
we
we're
can ignore
presenting,
some of this.
stats and facts.
We can ignore some of that.
You play 82 games, right? They have time. Now, they don't have a ton of time, But we saw last year, you get a break. You know, there's been a lot of games. There's been a lot of games this first half,
tough
whatever.
Game, tough sport.
You know?
It is a tough sport.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You know?
Tough to score goals.
We'll see how these 5 games go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Starts tonight.
This is the most important stretch
Right
of the
here,
season.
puck drop
No
on
doubt.
101 ESPN.
Most important stretch of the season.
Yep. Right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carey.
Let's go.
Yeah!
He's back, baby.
Carey believes.
Let's go, Blues!
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. That's why your Blues are likely to make another run like they did a year ago. So stay locked in. 101 ESPN, the Blues Radio Network. NFL head coaching cycle is drawing more clear. Now that another head coach has been hired, we'll tell you the latest. Also discuss what we've learned thus far in this NFL coaching cycle and maybe anything that has stood out and what has surprised us. That's next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you are in the market for a new vehicle, look no further than my good friends over at Genesis of St. Charles. They are the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2026. Genesis of St. Charles is your premier Genesis dealer, and don't wait. Now is the time to visit. They want your trade in, and they are willing to pay more for it on any new Genesis purchase. No games, no gimmicks, just upfront pricing. You can unlock the e-price today. Every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. If you're in the market for something new, let Genesis of St. Charles bring the test drive to you. They're closer than you think. Located right off of Highway 70 and Mid Rivers Mall Drive. 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters. Go in today, experience the luxury service at the state-of-the-art facility, get you a sip of coffee, and have a great time and look at all the models that they have in stock ready for you to take home today. Or if you don't have time, you can go online and have them deliver it to you. Just visit them at genesisofstcharles.com. That's genesisofstcharles.com.
Bills are the latest team to find their head coach as they named Joe Brady their new head coach. Joe Brady, of course, was the offensive coordinator for the Bills under Sean McDermott the last couple of years. And Carey, I thought you brought this up in the office, and I thought it made a lot of sense. This is probably Josh Allen's choice.
No question.
We saw that. I think it was Diana Rossini who said that Josh Allen would have a significant say in who the Bills' next head coach would be. So the fact that Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, slides over to head coach now, this has got Josh Allen's fingerprints written all over it.
Yeah, I think that this was a Josh Allen decision. Not that it was solely his decision, but it definitely carried a lot of weight. I mean, if the owner fired the head coach because you were crying in the locker room, hell, you probably could get just about anything you want at this point. Mm-hmm. So I think that this was a decision, and it's almost one of those situations of buyer beware. I say this often, that just because you're a great offensive coordinator or a great defensive coordinator, that doesn't make you a great head coach. At times, especially more so offensive coordinators, they're very quirky, very weird. They don't always relate to the entire team very well. I don't know that to be true about Joe Brady. I'm just saying in general, some of the offensive coordinators that I've interacted with and had, experiences with throughout my entire career and my life. But just be careful, because some of the same issues that you had last year, your main issue was how the hell did you stop the defense, stop the run on defense? You didn't. Like, that was one of the main issues that you had, the inability to stop the run. And I know people say, well, they were top in passing. Yeah, people probably didn't have the need to pass on it. Yeah. Why would I pass it when I can run the ball down your throat? It's easy. So I would say beware, be very aware of who Joe Brady is as a head coach now. We know what he is as an offensive coordinator. He allowed you, he helped you and aided you into being an MVP 2 years ago or last season. But what is it going to look like going into this year? And that offense still needs some pieces. It's not like James Cook had a really good year. Josh Allen had a good year, not the same as he did the last year, but he had a really good year. But you're still deficient in the receiver room. Mm-hmm. Like, you need a dude or two of them. And Keon Coleman and Shakir, like,
I didn't even want him.
Yeah, I'm surprised Joe Brady, like, yeah, that was the other guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about this offseason and how they upgrade, in some of those positions defensively and at the receiver position. But I do think that this was a Josh Allen. I really like this guy, and I think he'd be great as a head coach.
I think on the surface that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you want to make sure that your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, especially one that won the MVP last year and didn't put up maybe the same numbers as he had last year. He's still, I mean, you could argue that if you take Josh Allen off of that Bills team, not only do they not make the playoffs, I don't know if they win more than 3 or 4 games if you replace him with just an average quarterback. Now, I realize you could do that with most teams, but I think it's especially the case when it comes to Josh Allen. Yeah. So on the surface or on paper, it's like, okay, well, this makes a lot of sense. The biggest question, though, is can Joe Brady actually be a head coach? And we have seen guys before transition from offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, get to be a head coach. They can't command a room. They can't illustrate what the vision's going to be. They cannot relate to their players in a way that they can extract the most out of a player. Some coaches are quote unquote player friendly, which basically means they won't hold these guys. They won't hold anybody accountable, or maybe they hold the bottom of the roster accountable, but not the top of the roster.
That works awful. Like that is the worst thing.
Welcome to pro sports.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Can you communicate? Can you do you have an eye for talent? You step into a big position here. You've never been a head coach before. This is your opportunity, so you're going to get that experience. But again, while it makes sense, hey, make sure that Josh Allen is happy. It doesn't mean that Joe Brady can be a head coach. It just means right now he's gonna make Josh Allen happy.
But it doesn't mean he can't be either.
Nope. 100%.
So one of my biggest pet peeves, and Carey, I know you feel the same way because we've talked about it. And Steve Ott. By the way, Steve Ott will be joining us at 3 p.m. today here on the Fast Lane, but let's just use him for a quick minute. He opened up, we're going to talk to him today about how many interviews he's had in the past and how it went really well for head coaching jobs and all this stuff. Didn't get the job. Why? Well, you don't have any experience. Mm-hmm. How the hell do you get experience unless somebody believes in you? And it sounds like they're going to believe in Joe Brady. Certainly Josh Allen does. Mm. And now it's up to him. He might be unbelievable. Like Sean McVay someone had to give him a chance. Kyle Shanahan, someone had to give him a chance. Kevin O'Connell. Like we talk about some of the bright young minds in football. Everybody at some point has to be given an opportunity. So I'm just not in the category of, well, he's got no coaching experience, so I guess we'll find out. I'm not saying you're saying that either.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I totally get it.
I'm just saying, like, blanket statement.
Yep.
I'm a big believer in let's see what they do. And then let's judge them or evaluate them on what they do, not what they haven't done yet.
Yeah, it's hard. You're right, Jamie. It's hard to sit across from somebody and really know for sure whether or not they're going to be a good head coach. I mean, there's some guys that absolutely kill the interview.
Yeah.
And
those are the worst kind, actually.
You get them in a position, it's like, where was that guy that we met with for 4 or 5 hours?
That's Mike Keenan, by the way.
There you go.
Mike Keenan used to crush every coaching interview known to mankind. But the problem the teams had is they never really asked him about hockey.
There you go.
Like systems.
Yeah.
Had they asked him about systems, they'd have found out pretty quickly that he don't know anything.
Sure.
But he was a salesman.
Absolutely.
And he
Sold
could
himself.
sell, and he sold himself very well because he kept getting hired over and over and over. So some of those guys crushed the interview, and they're terrible. Then the other side of it, which you hear some people in pro sports are like, he's a really bad interview. And some people are like, so what? He doesn't need to be a good interview to coach a damn team.
Right. He just needs to be able to
needs to be a coach.
Yeah. So if we look at this, we have the Giants, John Harbaugh, Falcons, Kevin Stefanski, Titans, Robert Saleh, Dolphins, Jeff Hafley, Ravens, Jesse Minter, Steelers, Mike McCarthy. And what an inspiring press conference. I'm being serious. What an inspiring press conference that Mike McCarthy had, talking about how, wearing certain colors, you almost have to get kind of used to it. He goes, this is the exact opposite. He grew up a Steelers fan.
He showed up wearing all his Steelers gear, pretty much.
He knows what it means.
His tie, his suit, and everything.
He loves the organization, loves the franchise, loves the history. And then the Bills, again, they just hired Joe Brady. He's the latest. The Cardinals, Raiders, and Browns are the 3 teams that do not have head coaches. I think it's fair to wonder if one of the current coordinators for the Patriots, or more likely the Seahawks, will become the next head coach of one of these teams. Clint Kubiak, I wonder. Maybe Clint Kubiak takes the Raiders' job, knowing he'll have Fernando. Almost said it again. Fernando Mendoza to work with. What has stood out to you guys about this coaching cycle? Has anything really kind of stood out?
Well, a couple things have really stood out to me. One, just how much of a dumpster fire Cleveland is. They got people like, call me crazy, but most of the time, a head coaching position in any professional sport, certainly one of the major professional sports, the NFL, mind you, too, it don't matter. That team's terrible. I'll take the job because you're going to get paid big money. And most of the time, these coaches feel like, I can change this. I can fix this. Right now, everybody's like, you know what? Lose my number. I know you called me last week, but lose my number.
No, thank you.
I don't ever want to coach your team. No, thanks. Take care. That's really been surprising to me that it's that dysfunctional in Cleveland right now that they can't even get somebody who really wants the job.
Right.
And the guy who's going to end up getting it, they don't want him.
Right.
It's just because he's already in the building.
He'll be not their first, second, or third.
No, or fourth or fifth.
Candidate.
Everybody's been dropping out.
Yeah, it's
so
bad.
that's been the thing that surprised me.
That has been surprising. That's definitely probably the most surprising thing. And I think, I was happy to see. I get excited when you get kind of some new blood in there. Most of these guys are on their second or third opportunity. John Harbaugh is a coach. Stefanski, Robert Saleh, Mike McCarthy, Joe Brady is a new one, and Hafley and Minter are new. I like to see when guys get an opportunity. Like Jamie said, it's often you don't have any experience. Well, how do I get it unless I get the opportunity? So, I'm excited to see the new guys that are going to get an opportunity. See what they do with it. See if they can make some things happen.
And we'll see what happens with the Cardinals, the Raiders. Not a lot of talent there, but they do have the number 1 overall pick. And then the Browns, who winds up just saying, you know what, screw it. I'll take that on.
Pro Bowl quarterback now.
Yeah, they do.
You relax.
And
That's so
record-setting.
And I feel so bad for Shedeur Sanders on this one because what's he going to say? Decline being a Pro Bowler?
Right.
But like it's a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Like they had Trevor Lawrence. His numbers next to Shedeur, I almost called him Dion, Shedeur's numbers, and they're like, one of these guys is a Pro Bowler. I'm like, oh, man.
That's Jamie Rivers. Jamie, I think you should be the one that should tease this next segment, this next up-and-coming guest.
We got former Cardinals pitcher Kyle Gibson going to jump on. He hated something Anthony said about a week ago, and he texted me on the road. And not just he's an avid listener. It was a long text message. I'm going to unleash him on Anthony. We come back here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, you got to head down to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle. One of the things I love most about Auto Centers is the selection. They have over 1,000 new and used cars, trucks, vans, SUVs on their lot. And when I shop at AutoCentersNissan.com, or when I have done so, whether it's for me or, my wife and I are combining to figure something out for her, I always enjoy looking at the selection that they have because they got different price points, obviously different vehicles. They're used. It's not just all Nissans. They got different makes and models when it comes to their used vehicles. But when it comes to their selection, I know that when I go to test drive the vehicle on their lot, it'll be the exact vehicle that I looked at online. I don't have to worry about going to different dealerships or lot hopping. Nope. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they've got all the vehicles right there. And new Nissan models right now. Select new Nissan models under their 000 Advantage sales event. 0 down payment, 0% APR for 60 months, and 0 payments until summer. So check it out right now. They got the 30-day return promise, and select used vehicles qualify for 0 down and no payments for 3 months. If you're financing any new or used vehicle, you're protected with the Auto Centers Walkaway Finance Protection. So shop online confidently at AutoCentersNissan.com or visit Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum. Tell Stalter sent you.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues are back in action tonight, taking on the Dallas Stars. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We will talk with Steve Ott at 3 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. But coming up next, we'll be joined by former Cardinals pitcher Kyle Gibson. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers here, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and let's head out to the Collier and Thompson phone line. Welcome in our buddy, Kyle Gibson. Gibby, how we doing, bud?
Great. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. It's not often that I receive text messages sometimes when I'm on the road, and I'm just like honored to get a Kyle Gibson text. I appreciate that.
Oh, man. I love listening to you guys. I actually, about in every city I played in, I didn't mind listening to sports radio on the way in. You know, you hear some of the opinions, but you hear like other things around the league, different sports, whatever. I'm a broadcast communication major, so I love listening to sports. But, you know, when I hear a few things every now and then, I just like to text the guys when I have the chance. I almost cold called 101 probably like 2 weeks ago because somebody said that they want the lockout to last as long as it takes to get a salary cap. I'm like, what in the world are you guys talking about? You know, I had my kids in the car, or I was going to cold call. I'm serious.
I don't think that was our show, but we're on notice now.
I don't think it was, but I'm just letting you know. If you guys get a call from me, you know, on the Thompson and Collier hotline, it's because I'm just trying to let you guys know. It's not always going to be a nice text message.
No, you know what, Gibby? Our first rule here in the Fast Lane is nobody's safe. And so that includes us. That includes us. Now, I do want to set the table here just quickly for a discussion that I know you would like to have, and I know Anthony doesn't really know what's going on here, but we're going to blindside him anyways.
Hi, Gibby.
Anthony mentioned something about a week ago where he talked about not liking the fact that his team is eliminated in August. Anthony, you want to clarify what you said?
I'm sure we were talking about the Dodgers, but Kyle, do you remember what the kind of the genesis of the conversation was? Was it about?
Yeah, it was. You were saying when we get to August, there's so many teams that are just eliminated and have no chance. And I quite frankly, I disagree with it compared to the NFL, right? So all I'm seeing is comparisons to the NFL salary cap and how much better it is and how it would be good for MLB. So I posed this question to my Twitter followers 3 weeks ago, like, what is the goal of the salary cap for MLB? And if your goal is to have more teams in it August 1st, I think some of the numbers are not going to back that up.
Mm-hmm.
So my thoughts. So I'll let you kind of finish what you're thinking. But yes, so the Cardinals, for instance, I assume that's your team in baseball. Is that who you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I believe they finished 5 games out of a wild card.
Mm-hmm. So
now, granted, 5 games in a week is tough to do, but if the right things happen, it can happen. Now we'll say over 3 weeks, 5 games gets made up all the time. The Indians, look what they did to the Tigers, right? So the point being is that I don't know what the correlation to an NFL considered eliminated, but the Chiefs had a magic chance if they won their last 4 or 5 games. So were they considered out of it the last 5 weeks, or were they in it? Because to me, they were in it when you have Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
But there were 10 teams in the NFL eliminated the last 5 weeks, essentially.
Okay.
And there were 9 teams that finished farther than 7 games out in the MLB. And that was at the end of the year. That's not counting August 1st. That's where it actually finished up. So my whole thought of this is, what is the goal for a salary cap? If it's parity, I've got numbers on numbers to show you that there is more parity in the MLB consistently than the NFL.
So now, Gibby, on that note, you're using the NFL, certainly that's one model, but I'm just going to use the NHL from that standpoint because I was in the same spot as a lot of these guys are now where we didn't want a salary cap. We were steadfast against it, all that stuff. Well, guess what? Here we are with a salary cap many years later. And I will say that in the NHL in particular, it has created more parity. Some of the smaller mid-market teams are spending the same amount as the top dogs, and so therefore they're granted the access to the same level of players. Where I think where baseball loses some traction is, you're right, not every year is it the top salary team that wins it, but every year you're talking about the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Yankees. I mean, all those teams that can just swallow up players now. Like the Dodgers have just declared the fact that whoever's available, we're going to get them, and it doesn't matter what it costs because we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if there was a salary cap, I'm not saying that the Cardinals or the Guardians or a mid-market team would go and find all these great players or take these great players anyways, but at least it gives them a puncher's chance of signing a free agent.
So I have no idea the financial state of the NHL, right? So, I mean,
it's nothing like baseball.
So that's part of the problem to me, right? Is like, just doesn't seem like the value of those teams are the same as the MLB.
Are you making fun of my sport, Gibby?
No. I'm trying to bring up it. I thought we were on the same team. Okay?
We are, buddy. I'm sorry.
The NFL, not the NHL, because I don't know near as much about hockey. But I do know that it also took a 2-year lockout, did it not?
It was a full season.
Okay, a full season. So there are the players and MLB prepare every year to have so much money on hand for a year or 2-year lockout. All right. So, but that's what it would take. In NHL, I'm trying to remember what one of the owners said. It was either the NHL or the NFL. They said, you know what, if we'd have held out another year, we'd have gotten even more. That is somewhat the viewpoint of owners at times, and that's just hazardous to the relationship. But I digress. Anyways, I think the cap and the financial position of MLB teams in NHL is a little different. Okay. So that would be my point on that.
Kyle, I'm sorry. I've long said that I think that MLB has the best, union. You all are, in my opinion, all together. NFL is more difficult, more players. But the fact that you all don't have a salary cap, I think that it would be foolish to move in the direction of having a salary cap. What are your thoughts on actually if MLB and the owners will come to an agreement of having one?
I don't think they will, and I don't necessarily think they should. I think that how it's set up, I understand that people are not happy with the Dodgers being able to do what they're doing, but at the same time, the Indians, for instance, just did a deferred deal with Jose Ramirez, right? Like, I get it that everybody doesn't think that their team can do that, but if we get down to it, they can. If we look at their revenues and they would open up their books and we could see where they're at, we would see that any team can do what the Dodgers and what the Indians have done. All right, so it doesn't seem like it, but they can.
I think that's a fair point, Kyle. The problem is they're not going to. They're not willing to, and that's what history has told us. So let's do. So you've got the percentages. NFL teams by percentage, and correct me if I'm wrong on this because I don't want to misconstrue what you're saying. You're saying that more NFL teams by percentage were eliminated earlier in this NFL season than baseball teams last season, correct?
Well, I think there's a couple things that have to go into this, and it's a little bit layered, right? There's more teams making the playoffs in the NFL, but they also have more teams. So did I go percentages? No, I did not go percentages.
Okay.
But if I remember right, there was 10 teams in the NFL that had a record that did not allow them to be in playoff contention by, the last 5 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it was. And there was only 9 teams that finished more than 7 games out in the MLB.
Okay.
So now, granted, once again, can you make up 7 games in 2 weeks? No, you cannot.
Sure.
You can't. But if we're just talking about having a chance, that's one thing to think about. Did they have a chance? Yes, they did. But
and that's when that spurred all this because I said I'm tired of having my team eliminated by August, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, all right. So here's where I'm at, Kyle. Big picture.
Yep.
Like your data on that exact point. Can't argue. You've got the numbers. My overall point to this is if I'm a fan in the NFL, virtually every single season there is a possibility for a dramatic turnaround. In Major League Baseball, it is getting more difficult every single year, especially with the way the Dodgers are doing it, to feel as though that my team can turn it around. If you guys, if we all want to do an exercise here, do you guys feel as though the Chicago White Sox can go from last place to first place next year?
No.
Or last place, let's just say become a playoff team.
I don't think they can.
Okay.
No. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
The Minnesota Twins. No bias there, Kyle, either.
Do I think they can be a playoff team?
Yeah, playoff team next year. They were 70-92 last year. Minus 95 run differential. Sold everybody at the break.
I don't know. I mean, probably not. But that's just things happen, though, right? Like, things do happen. So I'm not saying – I don't think you can just say they're eliminated at this point.
Okay, but again, more likely or not, do you think they can go from fourth place in their division to a playoff spot?
More likely than not? I mean, no, of course it's not more likely than not. But You're telling me you can't do that same thing with NFL teams?
We'll get there.
Okay, sounds good.
A's.
No chance.
The A's. No, they do have a chance to make the playoffs. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, they haven't made the playoffs in 4 years. Angels.
Okay. I would say they have a very low chance.
Okay, 11 straight years for the Angels haven't made the playoffs. Marlins.
Nope.
Nationals.
Hold on. You're cherry picking the lowest single.
Kyle, we're here because you cherry picked my August statement. So
they're not trying. Like, they have to try.
But I think that's
now,
Anthony's point.
That's my point.
Some teams aren't even trying.
Kyle, I'll give you a little backstory. Anthony is a baseball purist. He played it in college. He loves baseball. He has turned into a man that I no longer know. He blames the Dodgers for ruining baseball. He thinks that baseball is a shell of itself.
I think
it's
baseball,
not fun to watch anymore.
ruined baseball.
Well, you blame the Dodgers every time I turn around. So
the Dodgers are the poster child for it.
So my question for you, Kyle, is we're talking about playoffs and teams not being able to make the playoffs because of the spending and how some teams spend way more than some of the teams he just spoke about that are not trying. Do you feel like that this is a Dodgers ruining baseball issue, or are there other factors that have gotten us to this point?
Okay, so let's just bring up the playoffs. The Jets, longer playoff drought than the Angels. The Angels is the longest one in the MLB at 2014. The next three teams in the NFL and the MLB are basically the exact same, 6, 7, and 8 years. All right? If we want to know, the ultimate goal is to win the World Series, right? You know, Anthony, you got me going. Here we go. All right, I'm going to go through the numbers. All right? We're about ready to have the third Super Bowl rematch since 2008. Mm-hmm. The third one. MLB's had one since 2004. Not even close. Last 30 years, 21 or 22 of the NFL teams have been in the Super Bowl. Same time, 22 MLB teams. In the last 6 years, 4 different champs in the NFL. 6 different teams only have made it, though, out of 12 teams in the last 6 years in the MLB. 4 different champs, same amount, but 9 different teams have made it. Like, I can keep going if you want me to. The goal to me is parity, right? And the NFL salary cap has not created that. So somebody else made a point. Well, it's all about the front office. Okay, well, it's about the front office. Like, are the players playing the game, or is the front office playing the game? So the front office makes good moves, and then we just say, well, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Patriots, all they have the best front office, so they're going to win. That's kind of how it looks in the NFL. It's not even about the players anymore. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is if I'm a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals who went 6-11 last year, I know I got Joe Burrow, I got a shot. They finished third in the AFC North. The Colts have a 4-season or 5-season playoff drought. They were in first place for most of the year. They had their quarterback injured. That is basically how their season fell apart. If I look at the Chiefs, they could be the Super Bowl champions next year. They didn't make the playoffs this year. The Raiders have the number 1 overall pick this year. A couple of shrewd moves. Maybe they qualify for a wild card spot. Giants 4-13 last year.
The Raiders?
Sure.
The Raiders?
Hey, we did this with the Washington Commanders 2 years ago. Washington Commanders. Oh, the Commanders. They hired Dan Quinn. They got Jaden Daniels. They went to the NFC Championship game last year. That's my point. There's a salary. You keep mentioning salary cap. What about the salary floor?
That's where I go, Kyle. Is the salary
MLB
floor?
Owners would be forced to spend. And I think you and I are on the same. We're in agreement there, because this is what I'm hearing in your argument. owners could spend more if they open up their books and they're honest about it. Well, what if they were forced to spend to a salary floor at the very least? Raise the floor. Maybe we create more competition throughout the course of a playoff thing. So that way the Rockies, the Pirates, or whoever, if I'm watching Major League Baseball, I'm a fan of that team, I know my owner is forced to have at the very least, a salary floor.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the floor is not going to happen without a cap. And if you think that that is going to be agreed upon to be like a decent share of the revenues, oh, you got something else coming. That's just not going to happen.
I agree with you, by the way. I agree with that, which is part of my frustration. We'll never see it.
So, Gibby, I got a question for you real quick because, again, I was a part of this, and my union sucked, and we caved, and we gave the owners a salary cap. But we also we did have the salary floor. And I'll say this, that the top 5% of the league is usually never affected by any of this because they're going to get paid no matter what. What happened with our salary cap and the salary floor is the lower paid guys started to make more money too. So the larger percentage of the union base started making more money because the top guys are getting paid no matter what. So it's not always a negative thing because I can tell you myself, when we got the salary floor, I got a raise. I was one of the only guys that was happy. I'm like, hey, I got a raise.
I don't disagree, but that's been the one thing that MLB's tried to do every CBA is raise the lowest part of the payroll guys, right? I mean, the MLB minimum has never been higher. The ARB pool has never even been existent except for the last 4 seasons. I mean, that has been an absolute goal. But I mean, I don't know. I just think there's so many things that are different because you guys said that, each team has a player that makes them win. There is nothing like that in the MLB. Like one player, even Shohei, like he was on the Angels with the second best player or the best player, and they couldn't win. So like it's just such a different game that trying to say a salary cap fixes it is just to me not. We're not going to have a floor without a cap.
But then how do you force some of the owners, Gibby, to spend more then? Because that's the problem I think is happening is some of these teams with the revenue sharing the way it is, they don't have to try in order to be profitable. And so therefore every year certain franchises are a dumpster fire and they don't care.
Well, yeah, I mean they're running it like a business and they're able to make money. You're not wrong about that. Absolutely. But I don't know that I don't know how you fix that. I just don't think that the way to do it is the cap. That's just me personally, because I don't think, once again, it's what's the goal, right? Is the goal to get more teams have a chance? Well, I think we have that. Nobody's complaining about the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Patriots. That's what I don't understand. We have a salary cap, and quite frankly, like the same teams win it and are in it so often recently. But now that the Dodgers have won 2 in a row, the first repeat since 2000, it's like, oh, my gosh, we got no chance. They won the 5th most games in the MLB last year. They didn't even win the most games. I don't know. I thought the playoffs were beautiful. You got the ALCS and the NLCS with the number 1 payroll team, the number 5 payroll team, the number 15 payroll team, and the number 22 payroll team, all in the last 4 teams. That's incredible. I don't understand what we're trying to fix.
Yeah, Anthony's got real problems.
That's all I'm saying. But you know what? Let me do some more digging, and then I'll get you some more numbers if that's what you want.
Kyle, I don't want to. I get your overall point. Your point is, you're essentially the results. The results are the same, right? Whether you got a cap or not, we're still getting a lot of the same teams. Do you have a favorite football team, NFL team?
Yeah, it was just brought up. It was the Indianapolis Colts, and it really hurt. They were the only team that would go 8-0 and not make the playoffs.
Okay, there you go. Well, I didn't know I was dinging you there, but, I apologize.
You had to know I'm from Indianapolis. Are you kidding me?
I didn't know you were
This
Colts
is how
fan. I
it
swear.
works, Gibby.
I swear.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Do you feel like your Colts have a shot next year to make the playoffs?
Going into the season, did you think Daniel Jones was going to give the Colts a chance?
I did not.
Be honest. Okay. And they were the best team in the NFL for half the season. So do they have a chance? Probably not unless they make a change. I don't know. But I don't know.
Do you feel like your Colts have a shot to make the playoffs next year?
Let me do some digging and get back to you on that.
Gibby's deferring to his attorney now. I like it.
Do you feel like your Colts have a shot to make the playoffs next year?
Not unless they change something. Nope.
I don't think you're being honest.
I think they ended up the team that they were the whole time. I think the first 8 games, Danny Dimes played great. And don't get me wrong, I don't like to bash other players because I've been that player that stunk and I've been the player that's good. So I don't like to bash other players, but I don't think Danny Dimes has ever shown the ability to do what he did the first 8 games.
Got the right coach. Got the right coach with the right quarterback, right?
Maybe. Maybe. But would you go ahead and place one of these wagers on the Colts to make the playoffs?
Next year?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, depending on what the offseason looks like. Now.
Oh, so it depends on the moves they do. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Moves.
Now, if the
sitting as they are, no, I don't think they do.
Sure. Now, if the Jacksonville Jaguars got to spend like the Dodgers did, that this whole conversation probably shifts, which is what my point is. Well, since we've been talking, and I'll update you. I got this on my phone. The Pirates, Rockies, White Sox, Angels, and Nationals were already eliminated. It's breaking news.
This is such a one-sided. I mean, you're picking the Jaguars to spin like the Dodgers. I think you're forgetting the fact that the Pirates could lock Paul Skeens up right now to a 5-year, $300 million deal, and next year they would be profitable. Just letting you know. Like, that's the thing. The Dodgers are being picked on, but if the Jaguars did it, you know who else would do it? The Texans. And you know who else would do it? The Chiefs and everybody else, because they want to win. That's the thing. Like, you have to want to win, and that has to be your priority. And if it is, you will keep Paul Skeens in all – there's no questions. But if it's not, then you'll find a way. Well, he got too expensive now, you know?
Sure.
No, that's just not how it is. That's not how it should be, at least.
Do all MLB teams have the Dodgers TV deal?
Well, no, they don't have the TV deal, but they share so much revenue. I wonder how much money the Dodgers pay everybody else from that TV deal just so that the other teams can afford their salary, you know what I'm saying, or pay their cheap salary. We're getting into the CBA weeds that I just don't think it's as easy as it seems. Of course they can't, but could every team increase their budget by $80 million right now and still be profitable? Yes, they could. 100% they could.
So I think to put a bow on this is you're right. They could, but they're choosing not to. And I think that's where sometimes fan bases get frustrated, is when they know that their ownership could compete financially, but they're choosing not to. And I think that's where people get angry.
Correct. Yeah, and I would agree with that. But that's not the salary cap. That is just the fans and the owners, and that's the owners trying to find their window, this window to compete. Whereas, like, just create a window. Go create a team that's good. Like, I was so fired up in 2022. This will be the last word because then I'm going to have to get going. You guys, you kept me. This is great, though. This is great. I was so fired up in 2022 when John Middleton came into the locker room and gave the spring training speech. I mean, so fired up. I had never been fired up by an owner in my life. Like, right, I respected all the owners, but my word, when that guy came in and said, when I'm tired, when I'm not going to try and win, then I'm not going to be an owner anymore. All my goal is to come in here and win a World Series with you guys. Oh, my gosh, I wanted to stand up and run through the wall. All right? That's not all the owners. And if it was, this conversation wouldn't even be a thing.
Totally agree with that, Gibby. Totally agree. 100%. All right, we got to get going too, buddy. Hey, thanks.
Appreciate you guys.
Good stuff.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll have you.
NHL's on blast next time.
Next time we're going to have you come in here. You have to drive in, and we'll get you for an hour or so.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm going to get schooled at that if I do that.
All right, buddy. Go enjoy your family. Thanks for your time.
Will do. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
See you, Kyle. Kyle Gibson, former Cardinals pitcher, longtime MLB pitcher, all-around good dude.
Just became a really big fan because he did not, indeed, blame the Dodgers. He blamed everybody else, which is correct.
I'm still not sure if Gibby falls on the player side or the owner side.
I almost said you're mad at the owners, not at me. No, great stuff. Great stuff by Kyle Gibson.
That's a great conversation.
He's awesome. All right, we're going to move quickly to Steve Opp, and I'm sure we'll revisit this too.
Yeah, we will for sure.
A lot of great stuff by Kyle Gibson. We appreciate him coming on for almost 25 minutes. All right, Steve Opp next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and the matchups are set, and it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you are in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, and official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Time Check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're going to talk to our guy, Steve Ott, former Blue, of course, and now the head coach of the Springfield Thunderbirds. How are you, Steve?
Great, guys. How you doing today?
We're good, Otter. All right. So some of our listeners haven't had a chance to really figure out, what went down on the road trip. Can you walk us through, that morning where you end up talking Army?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't the morning. It was after the game. So basically after the Oilers game, which was a tough game, you're walking back after a 5-0 loss, and Army wanted to have a chat with me and obviously presented this opportunity and to become the new head coach of the Springfield Thunderbirds. And he was, in a situation where he was, planning on letting go Steve Konowalchuk, and asked me if I would like this opportunity. And after talking with my wife, I put a lot of thought and decision into it, but pretty quickly, and decided to take this opportunity.
So let's dive into that a little bit, because it's a major life change for you, but I know you had interviewed in the past for coaching jobs around the league, and I'm sure they said the same thing that a lot of people get, is you don't have any experience yet, so it's tough for us to go in that direction. Maybe let's talk about that a little bit. How was that process for you, and was it frustrating at times?
Well, yeah, a few of them. You've set goals in your coaching career, no different than playing career, and I just felt in the last few years I was ready to take that next step to become a head coach. I continue to just gather the experience and the knowledge it takes, and working towards that goal one day. And the interviews were. I'm extremely lucky, first of all, that Army allowed me to do those interviews, being contracted and taking that experience and getting that next step of just kind of putting that information to good use. So, you get down to the final end of those. They're very extensive and a lot of work that goes into them, and you finish in the top three a lot of times, or even the top two, and it's just at the very end you don't have head coaching experience. So, unlike football where they hire the offense or defense coordinators and make them the head coach, hockey's a little bit different. You got to go earn your stripes, and that's one thing that I'm prepared to do right now.
Steve, was there ever any question in your mind? I know sometimes people may look at it as taking a step down or taking a step back to go coach the Thunderbirds. Was there any thought of that in your mind and saying maybe I shouldn't do this and should stay where I'm at and go for an opportunity after this season?
Not at all. Obviously this is a different circumstance where you're working with the big club, and they've been there a long time, 9 years, and I think it's hard to leave great teammates, the training staff, the coaching staff as well. That's probably the biggest thing that, out of your heart and care, that was the hardest part, obviously, leaving that team. But to go down there and take this opportunity, I take it as a promotion to become a head coach. And I've come down here. I'm very thankful for the opportunity. Listen, the Blues organization has treated me so well as a player and as a coach over all the years that to stay in this organization means the world to me, and obviously getting this head coaching job along with it now.
Head coach Steve Ott joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Otter, what was the biggest surprise going from coaching alongside Jim Montgomery with the Blues to becoming the head coach now in Springfield? What was the thing that kind of, I know you haven't been there for very long, but what's the thing thus far that's kind of jolted you?
Well, first of all, it's all the great head coaches that I've had over the years. You could take Chief and as a player Hitch and obviously Monty. I get to see how they interact every single day, and to steal bits and pieces from them along with your own stuff. I just think you're constantly in that mindset of what they do to have success, and that's something that especially last year, to watch Monty come in halfway through the year and get us to a playoff spot like he did. You learn that, and that's kind of what I kind of processed it when I came to Springfield here to kind of replicate very similarities to that. So that valuable experience that I've gotten along the way, is something that builds you for these moments.
What kind of coach are you going to be? Because, it's first time coming in there. You've been a coach for a long time, but being a head coach is different. You're very well liked as an assistant, then associate coach. But when you're the top dog, you can't always be friends with the players all the time. So, what kind of coach do you project yourself to be?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be myself. So I think that's a big thing. I'm not trying to be somebody else in the sense of coaching. And I love the game. I love coming to the arena, and I want the players to feel that way. The big thing is I'm going to be open and honest with them. And I think as a player myself, I respected the guys that treated me that way. The hard decisions that have to be made in the game. When you're open and honest with those, I think everybody respects you and respects the decision that's made, even if it's you disagree with that decision. Playing wise, it's going to be an aggressive style, a relentless style. Things that probably match my playing career and the success in certain areas that I thought had success. Is something that I've kind of molded over time. Now I've taken kind of bits and pieces of great D-zone coverage or forechecks that I like from other organizations, and you mold your system over years in your mind. And now, to be honest with you, now I get to play with it. So now I get to implement that on a daily basis. And coming down here in this first week, that's exactly what I've done. It isn't something that's over a year. It's been in 10 years in the making.
So, Otter, if you want the team to be molded after the way you played, is everybody going to be chirping everybody every night? Or?
Well, not the way I play. That's probably a little bit facetious or whatever you want to say at the time. But I want the guys to have a high hockey IQ in the sense of the defensive side of the puck and strong aggressiveness towards the puck. So I think that there's a good mixture there.
Now, Steve, you were a forward, played center. Jamie has had a golden rule that he told us that he learned early on in his career, and that was to never trust the forwards.
Don't trust the forwards.
Are you of that same? Do you believe him when he says that? Are defensemen not trustworthy either? Is there kind of a back and forth between you guys?
For the backbone.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of old sayings like D to D and D to D and out of the playoffs too. So you gotta be careful with D.
I was telling these guys, Otter, my very first training camp here, and I think it was Garth Butcher. Garth Butcher, there was something in our defensive zone. I go, the winger's got that guy. He goes, don't trust the forwards ever.
Well, it's so funny. The old sayings were so great, and I think now with the way the game's played, it's almost 5-man units in all three zones. So the defensemen are so active now and such great skilled players, and they add some of them are almost extra forwards at times. So it turns out to be a lot of 5-man units in all three zones. So puck support and defensive support, I think, comes to a premium with all five guys now. So you can't blame each other as much as Ribs did to the forwards yelling at Ollie all the time.
Yeah, I was really good before video, too, because I always had my guy, all right, Otter, we're going to let you go, buddy. Look, Matt, I'm super, super happy for you. Congratulations. You are going to kill it. You're going to be an amazing head coach down there. Those guys are lucky to have you. And I can't wait to see you soon in the NHL.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate having me on, and the support over the years means a lot to myself and my family. The St. Louis fans have been nothing but first class, and I've enjoyed playing for them, and obviously being behind the bench of that Enterprise Stadium, and I'm very lucky for this opportunity as well. So, again, thank you, guys.
Thank you,
No
Coach.
problem,
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Go get them.
We'll do it. Thank you.
All right. That's head coach Steve Ott of the Springfield Thunderbirds
He's
here on
going to be
101
great,
ESPN.
man. He's
Absolutely.
so ready for this opportunity. He's going to be great. I meant that those young guys are lucky to have a guy like him, especially if he drags that honesty into it. Because, Carey, you and I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
How many coaches were just dishonest? If they would have just told me the truth, I could have fixed things. I could have changed things. Instead, they just lied to you. And it's like, what are you doing, man?
Right. Yeah, it's almost like they get it in their head that this guy's never going to do anything. He's not going to develop.
Yeah.
And I'm done with him. As opposed to, hey, let me coach.
Yeah.
Let me try to develop you.
Or you're not doing this right. If you do this right, you might play more.
Sure. And you did. And if you do it, you do.
Exactly.
Honest dialogue is always the best way to go about it for professional athletes. I think for any athlete, but
I think anything in
as you
life,
get,
for that matter.
as you get older, you respect it and appreciate it much more as an athlete when your coach is telling you exactly, you might not agree, but this is how I see it, and this is what I'm watching and what I'm seeing on film, and if you don't correct this, then this is the problem.
Sure.
And you say, you know what? Okay, I got it. Rather than, you're almost there. Yeah, I was just looking.
Yeah, no, you're doing
yeah,
fine.
you're
You're
good.
just,
Yeah,
it's
everything's
just a
good.
numbers thing right
Yeah,
now.
get the hell out of my face, man.
Why is it a numbers thing? If I'm doing fine, shouldn't I be in the lineup?
Right. It's a numbers thing for that guy over there, right?
Why
Not
is
him. Just you.
Give me a new number.
Yeah, what number do you want me to wear?
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Marsh has got what's trending for you next. Well, the big game is next Sunday, of course, between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And if you want to cash in on all your hunches, then you got to play with my friends Underdog. And with the big game here, if you're not on Underdog yet, you're in luck. New customers score $75 in bonus fantasy entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And your fantasy entry goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about, with your hunches, your feel for the Seahawks and the Patriots and how the game might play out. Playing on Underdog is easy. Once you download the app or go to the website and punch in the promo code Anthony when you sign up, just choose whether or not certain players will go higher or lower on their stats. That's it. So if you like Drake May to maybe have a big rushing game like you did in the AFC title game and don't love his passing numbers, maybe you go higher on his rushing total or lower on his passing stats. If you like a certain matchup with a Seahawks player, maybe you think Jackson Smith-Njigba is just going to go off again. Look at his reception number. Go higher on his receptions or higher on his receiving totals. That's it. That's all you have to do. You build your entries up, and you can, if you do cash in on your entry, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code Anthony, just my first name, at sign up to score the $75 in the bonus fantasy entries when you play your first $5. Again, use that promo code Anthony at sign up. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/wayne. Get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org.
news in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the SLU Billikens go for their 20th win tonight. They'll take on George Washington at the Chaffetz Arena. They are now, and the last time we talked about them, they were ranked 24th. They are 21st now in the rankings. Last year, 19 wins, 15 losses. They made their way to the NIT. So they have already eclipsed, or at least tied, the amount of wins that they had last year. My question for you guys is, we always talk about, at least with college football, how important it is to get the right coach. We saw what Curt Cignetti was able to do with Indiana. But just, how important is it for a basketball program? We don't really talk about college basketball as much as college football. Mm-hmm. But what Josh Schertz has done with the SLU Billikens has been pretty spectacular, I'd say.
I think, and Carey, first of all, yes, absolutely. Josh Schertz has been incredible for SLU. I think the results speak for themselves. But Carey, I'm interested in your thought on this. The way that Marsh kind of posed it with, finding the right coach. I think it's almost more important in college basketball than a lot of other sports. Because you're kind of the identity for teams. When we think about college basketball, yes, the standout players every single year. There's guys that are just you know them by name. You want to watch their games. You want to see what they do in the tournament. But it's really like John Calipari and Roy Williams back in the day, and John Wooden, and it's these big time personalities that you gravitate toward. It's because they're the face. So I think when it comes to college basketball, finding the right guy that can deal with the NIL, give yourself give your team an advantage. If you don't have deep pockets, find the right system for the right players, or vice versa, and also be somebody that's going to be the face of your program. I think it's paramount.
It's extremely important because in college, basketball for sure, that roster, that overturn for the roster can be year after year. Like, you lose guys. Illinois, the guys they had on the roster 3 years ago are not some of the same guys that they have on the roster now. I think it was a complete overhaul from year after year, from last year to this year. So it does change, and you are the face of the program. And so making sure that you are relatable to the young players, make sure that, the guys are understanding what it requires to be good and to work hard. And I think, SLU has done a fantastic job. They are, as you said, number 21 in the country, and just continue to ascend in the right direction. Just keep winning. Control what you can control. Don't worry about any outside factors. I wouldn't be worried about the tournament at this point. Just keep winning games and finding ways to move up in those rankings. And I'm sure people will say, well, let's look at, the competition, or the level of competition, and when they play some of those bigger schools, if and when they make it to the tournament, how will they fare? Who knows? Enjoy this moment and keep winning games and keep playing basketball in the right way, and it'll all sort itself out.
Well, they certainly are, that's for sure. The way that they play, the balance scoring, the tenacity that they show on defense, crashing the boards. They play a really fundamentally sound game, but it's not boring at all. The way that they move the ball around offensively, it is a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait to see what the season, what the next month plus has in store for the SLU Billikens.
We were just talking about the coaching, and with SLU being in the A10, obviously the conference doesn't measure up to some of the bigger conferences within college basketball within the United States of America, that is. Just how important is this season, though, for SLU, given that with NIL, certain players can get plucked, and we know that probably will happen because they've played so well. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like they need to capitalize on this season, or do you think that they can continue to do what they're doing for an extended period of time?
Well, I think anytime that you can get into the NCAA tournament is paramount. You can show future recruits, or when players hit the transfer portal, they'll already know SLU might be on their radar. I think that you have a miserable season that's tough to bounce back from. So yeah, you're kind of brick by brick building this up, especially when you play in the A10 to show future recruits or future transfer portal players that you are serious, that you can contend. You want to attract competitive players that want to be a part of a bigger program. I don't mean bigger in terms of like bigger as in like UConn or Kansas. I just mean part of a program that can win. You want to attract those players. They want to feel like they can provide value to you. So I think it's huge that they continue that. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got our Sports Six Pack coming up, part 1. Send your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Again, part 1 of the Sports Six Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We talked with former Cardinal pitcher Kyle Gibson earlier today, as well as the new Springfield Thunderbirds head coach Steve Ott. If you missed those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Blues back in action tonight, taking on the Dallas Stars. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Send in those questions. We'll answer them next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with your first question to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646 for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 636, if you had the power to take away one championship from a team, who would it be and why?
Patriots against the Falcons, 2016 Super Bowl.
Patriots versus the Rams. Now they're down to 4.
Wow.
Which one?
Patriots versus Rams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, which
Super Bowl?
They've got two.
The St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
I don't give a about that.
Just making sure.
I didn't even think no, I'm a big Dodgers guy. Sorry.
Me, Steelers 2008.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Wow.
That was actually uncalled for.
Jamie's just such a huge Kurt Warner fan.
That was ridiculous. I did not see that coming, and I usually see it coming from Jamie. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Man.
Wow. I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine.
No,
That's good.
I'm not like you guys. I don't have any anger towards teams that win, you know?
2004 Boston Red Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking of the 2013
1967 Boston Bruins. Bobby Orr, the jerk.
You know what, though? Let me just say something.
Uh-oh.
I want to do that one because I really enjoyed the way that the Blues won the Stanley Cup to get their first Stanley Cup. Just the story, you know? There's a great story there.
It's all about you, Marshy.
I wasn't alive at that time.
He doesn't care. He wasn't there.
I wasn't alive either.
Oh, wow. This is a good one. The 2016 Cubs.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Goes to the Guardians.
Bacon.
I saw it. I saw it.
Damn it, Bacon. That's funny. We'll just leave it there.
What did
Don't worry about it. Keep your feet moving.
Anybody else?
That damn Lakers phony championship. You know what? Both of them, actually. The bubble one and the one where Draymond kicked the guy in the groin and they suspended him for the next game.
Well, that was the Cavs.
I was thinking about LeBron. The Cavs championship. And then the Lakers championship. Really anything LeBron did, you know.
Big LeBron guy, huh?
Fair enough. I don't think Jamie's going to push back on that.
No.
I like the Heat, the 2 wins.
Anthony, if I'm not mistaken, your Dallas Mavericks took down LeBron when he was in Miami.
They did. That was the first Miami Heat championship, quote unquote, run. Yeah, that was Dirk.
Why'd you put the air quotes? It was a championship run. They went to 4 of them.
He does that
in a row.
It was Dirk, of course, and it was the other 4 guys.
Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was on that team.
Jason Kidd. Yep, absolutely.
Dirk and Jason Kidd and
Dirk.
I think what's the Jet? What's his name?
Benny the Jet Rodriguez. That's who it was.
Yeah, multi-sport athlete, played hockey too.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop, but he
No.
did score a goal in one of the bigger games. Ran into the goalie. That'd be a penalty these days.
These days, but not then.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want in hockey back
You can
in the
run
day.
into your own goalie and knock him out of the
offsides.
knock him out of the goal for a few seconds.
Jamie's ran into his goalie when he decides to play the puck instead of getting a whistle.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Just smart.
Hit your own damn goalie.
That's what the Blues did the other night. They took a.
They tried.
Was it Hofer? Took him out.
I don't know why they're doing that.
We need
We
that
don't
guy.
need you in net. Come back here with us against the boards.
We do.
What'd he say?
Nothing.
He said, "Go Blues."
I did.
Question number 2.
All right, from 636, did you guys watch the UFC over the weekend with their new deal doing away with pay-per-view? Do you think the UFC will eventually have the same reach as the big 4 sports leagues in North America?
I don't know if they'll ever have the reach. It's going to take a long time. But getting onto Paramount Plus is a huge move by the UFC. It makes it way more accessible for people. And like when UFC started, it was like $39.99 for a pay-per-view. It got to be like $70 for a pay-per-view. I'm like, no chance. Like, I like the UFC. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's a little steep.
But that's like, most of the time you're wanting to see one fight, too.
Right.
And that fight could be 5 rounds or 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
So it's like, and I'm not cheap, trust me. But I think this is a great deal. I think it opens up a lot of doors for the UFC to get mainstream advertising. I think that it opens up a lot of opportunities for the athletes to do more endorsements, to make more money. I do think the sport is great. I really do. I mean, it's... I used to be a big boxing fan. I haven't been a big boxing fan in a long time just because boxing's kind of gotten boring. You know, you have your guys, but those guys are now getting older, and I haven't seen any young fighters coming through here that are really all that exciting.
Sure.
UFC has personalities, man. I like it.
Why do you think it's not as big as the 4 major? Is it because it's just a single person sport?
Well, it's weird, right? Because like boxing in the heyday, when you had Tyson, you know, even go back for Ali, you had Hagler, Hearns, like you had Sugar Ray Leonard, like you had Oscar De La Hoya, like you had some dudes. Boxing was huge.
Yeah.
But again, it's only once every so often, right? So like the 4 major sports, they play a regular season, and I know the NFL is only 1 game a week, but it's constant. To where boxing, it is a spectacle. It used to be a spectacle. You had this ramp up of interviews and all that, and you have this big fight that's planned. UFC, I just don't know if it's for everybody. Some people don't understand the grappling side of it, and some of those fights can be boring.
Yeah.
It can be. Like, I know what goes into it. Carey, you know what goes into it. And you see the strategy and all that, but sometimes you get 2 guys roll around on the ground together for 5 rounds. I mean, as hard as that sounds, Carey, it can be boring. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and I think that's where they lose probably some of the popularity.
I think boxing lost its popularity when, you know, all the promoters got involved and they got all the different belts and all the different, you know, titles and this
5 different
WBC,
belts now.
WBO,
Like, what the hell?
and the best fighters stopped fighting each other. Like when you stop
Because
having,
they didn't want to lose.
Yeah, you get that, and the promoters were, you know, we got to do it here, and it just got too messy. For boxing, it was no longer pure where the best fought the best. And if you wanted to be the best, you had to beat the best. And it's no longer that way. So I think that's kind of what happened with boxing. And to your point, Jamie, UFC it's kind of, if it's in your wheelhouse, it is. And if it's not, it's not. I can watch it sometimes. I don't prefer to watch it all the times. I mean, there's
certain fights.
Certain people, you know, you kick a guy in the face. Oh, hell yeah. But then sometimes, like you said, we're just leaning on each other for a long period of time till I choke you out. That's fun in real life. Maybe not so much in watching it, you know?
That's what you're into.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
All right, Major Stronzo. I'm seriously interested in Mr. Davis's opinion.
Mr.
Davis' opinion on the
Is your dad here, Carey?
He's not, unfortunately.
I know that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Major Stronzo is seriously interested in Carey's opinion on the McCarthy hire. The rest of the town doesn't want to know. so no need to break it down on air, but we're going to. But I'm genuinely confused why my fellow Steelers fans are upset about a Super Bowl winning offensive coach instead of an unproven maybe. The fans complain about not doing things differently, and this is definitely different. McCarthy is a good coach, I think.
I responded to him, but I'll say it. I think they hired the coach that has done a fantastic job, developing quarterbacks over his entire career. He's done a fantastic job of having, high scoring, really innovative offenses that put points up and get a lot of yards. So I think that's the reason that they went in that direction. He's established. He's won a Super Bowl. He's coached some of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game throughout his entire career. And so they went in that direction. Am I surprised? Yeah. I do also think that he was probably very, and I mean very relatable to the owners, like to the ownership group, because he's from Pittsburgh. He, diehard Pittsburgh fan growing up, and, to coach the team you grew up watching as a child, I'm sure that probably gave him goosebumps and gave the people in that room goosebumps when he talked about, his experiences watching the Steelers throughout his entire career, not just as a child, but even as an adult. So, I think that lead, played into it. And I hope that it is a shift in what they've done offensively, because it's been boring. It ain't been great watching Pittsburgh play offense, and you're leaning on that defense. So hopefully you hire the right coordinators, if you're not calling plays, offensively and defensively, and you go win a championship. That's what Pittsburgh football is about. It ain't about making the playoffs is cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, having winning seasons. And I love Mike T. I think what he was able to do with the roster and the team that he had, and he ain't had a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was his first notable quarterback here in the last, 4 or 5 years. I think he's done a fantastic job, but the mindset and the goal is to win championships in Pittsburgh. And if that ain't what you're doing, nobody really gives a damn. Mm-hmm. Like, they love you, but are you winning championships? Because that's the expectation. And I said yesterday, you got teams that have passed you up or tied you. New England Patriots tied in Super Bowl. Never happened. Hell no. Pittsburgh got to get back on that side of things. Got to be the leader in the clubhouse, if you know what I mean, Anthony.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Mike McCarthy is a proven coach. Say what you want about him. He's 174 and 112. He's got a 608 winning percentage. 11-11 in the playoffs. And yes, he had Aaron Rodgers, and yes, he had Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but I hate that argument because Belichick had Brady, Andy Reid has Mahomes.
Every great
Bill Walsh had Montana.
Every great coach also had a quarterback.
Yeah.
If you look at Dak Prescott this past year, he was great. Cowboys did not get back to the playoffs. Mike McCarthy in Dallas, 6-10 first year, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, and then 7-10. The guy knows what he's doing with quarterbacks. You got to get a quarterback, though, clearly.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is not the solution. He might be a stopgap, but based on the fact that McCarthy has a 5-year deal, you got to find him a real quarterback.
Absolutely. Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack is next. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Keep those questions rolling in. We'll answer them next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right, part 2 of the Sports Six Pack is right now 314-399-9646. The Air Comfort Service tax line. Keep those questions coming in. We'll answer them now. Go ahead, Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, this one's sort of a two-parter, and we talked about this yesterday in the break. But from the 618, did you guys watch that guy climb that building? And also, what's the craziest thing you've ever done in your life?
I ain't climbed no damn building. I did climb over some barbed wire at 3 o'clock in the morning to go get some Mary Ann's in Champaign. Mary Ann's is a breakfast place. I'm not a person, Jamie.
Either way, I'm okay with that.
Had to
Could have been a hell of a person.
Me and my teammate OB Mike O'Brien. Late night, very hungry. Had no way to get there other than crossing the train tracks, but had to climb over some barbed wire. I always thought barbed wire would be harder to climb over than that. Wasn't very.
Throw your jacket over.
Well, we didn't climb. We didn't. We just climbed over. It was okay. Don't do it, kids. Stay safe and be careful out there.
You can also have your buddy hold it down and then you reciprocate. There's ways.
There's ways.
There's things.
You can lay on the barbed wire and have somebody climb over you.
The razor wire is much more challenging.
Yeah.
Stay away from that one.
Things you do at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Tell me about it.
Ridiculous.
What was the question? Most dangerous thing we've done?
I don't even know.
Did you watch the guy climb the building?
Didn't. No, was that the Netflix?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
I heard
yet.
about
Your
it.
thoughts on that, for one?
Well, I said to Carey, I'm like, okay, so Netflix is filming this thing with their drones or doing whatever. What happens if the guy blows a wheel and did you follow him down right to impact
I think
or
you
what?
turn it off.
I think you.
But I don't want that. As the viewer, like, I may
I'm
not want to
committed
see
now.
it, but damn it, don't you cut away. What? No? What?
I'm paying good money for this. I haven't seen it. But what was the second part of the question?
What's the craziest thing?
Craziest thing you've ever done in your life?
Repoed cars in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty dangerous.
That's pretty good, yeah. Yeah.
Looking back on it, do you think, like, what the hell was I doing?
Oh, I know what I was doing. I needed money. I was right out of college.
Craziest thing I ever
We're
did
gonna need
was
that vehicle back.
jump on an alligator in the Everglades in Florida.
What?
That's a true story. My brother was with me and his wife at the time and his kids. We're doing this like airboat thing, the big fan boats there through the Everglades. And then we stopped at this area and there was a bunch of these gators. And the one guy who's running the tour, he jumps out. And he's like, and then it's like pushes the head down the gator and like cranks the head back. And he's like, it's only dangerous. Like they can't open their mouth really big, but they can shut it. And then he goes through this whole thing and says, anybody want to try it? And I'm like, well, I'll do it. And so we motor over to like the side where there's about 2 inches of water that he's in. Like you can see him out. And then there's like the sand. And he tells me, he says, now, when you get up on it, because you got to do it fast, grab the tail, yank him backwards. It kind of like puts him off balance. And then he says, then you got to hammer down on the snout and hold that face in the dirt as hard as you possibly can until you can get your hand underneath it. I'm like, okay, here we go. Bam. And I'm like, grabbing it, and this thing is strong. It's probably only about 7 or 8 feet long. It's not like a massive one, but it's like it's one big muscle. And so then I lean back and I got it cranked. Like I'm holding it. My brother, I've got pictures. I'll show you pictures. My brother's got a picture of me doing this thing. Then though, I'm like,
what do you do now?
Now what?
How do you get out of that?
How do you get out? Because I watch these things and they can like spin and they can launch like 3-4 feet in one direction. So I'm holding them and I'm starting to get tired a little bit because this thing is like I've got to like lean back on it. And I go, now what? He goes, well, I just let him go. I'm like, hey, freaking no. So then finally another guy says, no, push his head back down and then, leave backwards, because he goes, he's going to turn quick. So if you go sideways, he's going to get you.
Yeah.
And so I pushed the head back down and did like defensive back, shuffled backwards. And he still almost got me with his tail to knock me down. So that's probably the craziest thing I've done.
That is
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm going to find the picture. It's a true story. Get my brother online, too.
Man, alive. It's been alive in here. Go ahead, Marsh.
Not the brightest.
Question number 5.
I mean, you did it, though.
From the 314, aside from a floor ceiling, should Major League Baseball revisit club control length as well as a possible age for mandatory clock starting?
What?
An age?
Age for Major League Baseball, you said?
Yeah.
And then mandatory I don't know.
I think baseball is fine where it is. That's what our good friend Kyle Gibson told us.
He did tell us.
He did tell us that, yeah.
It's just fine.
You complain, you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the Pirates.
I do think that...
Be mad at the Marlins.
Yeah,
be mad at the White Sox.
Yep.
That's who you be. You take up your gripes. You go to their offices and you stand there and you complain. Chicago fans, you know what I mean? Pittsburgh fans, those are great people too, I tell you. Those are some of the best people
They're
in
dedicated.
the entire world. To have to deal with that crap, you got the Steelers, you got the Penguins, they're doing their damn thing, and then you got the Pirates.
We're doing our thing.
I told you all I used to live right by PNC Park, and I never knew when it was game day because I could just come and go as I damn well pleased.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues. You know, not a problem. So, if you're mad at someone, baseball fans, don't be mad at the Dodgers. They're doing God's work. They're trying to win. Everybody else, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Find a team that loves and cares about you. Right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Find a team that wants to win. Did you hear Kyle Gibson say when the owner came into the clubhouse and said, when I'm not trying to win, I no longer want to be there. That's the ownership group you want to cheer for. Not anybody else.
Yep.
Not a team that doesn't care who's out there playing, who's on first. I don't know. I don't care. This is your team. Is it? Still getting paid. You don't want those people in your life. Those are takers, Anthony. You know what I've learned in life? You want to be more around givers than takers. Because the takers, they
You're
know no
100%
limit.
right, Carey.
They know no limit, Anthony. Those takers, they will take everything.
Or at least half.
Everything. More if you let them. You know what I mean? You want to be around givers.
I'll write that down.
And the Dodgers, they give their fans something to cheer about.
Well, Carey, I don't want to be a Dodger fan, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Jeez.
Is that the picture?
Jamie just showed me the picture. Tell you what I'm going to do, Carey. Since I don't want to be a Dodger fan,
Story.
I just won't watch baseball anymore. The Gauntlet is next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's a Pass on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. 404 Your Time Check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We welcome in John to the program. What's up, John?
Not a whole lot. How about you guys?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you listening. Thank you for playing today. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, or me in round 1?
So every time I do this, I try to be strategic and I get my butt kicked. So I'm just going to go... let's just start with Jamie Rivers.
Okay.
Wow, Carey called it.
Jamie Rivers.
Carey called it today. John, what's your problem with me, just out of curiosity?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
I did have to watch you striptease at Russo night, but
hey,
other than that...
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was a gift.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right, Jamie's going to head into the cone of silence. John, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
What are you hoping for, John?
Anything but hockey.
Okay. Sometimes the wheel...
Be nice to me.
Yeah, sometimes the wheel is nice. Sometimes the wheel is absolutely vicious. Now, we did have hockey yesterday, and it can get on kind of a roll, but I'm looking at Carey and Marsh, and judging by the responses, I don't think it's hockey.
No, it's football.
Oh, okay. All right.
Football.
All right.
Feel good about football?
Yes.
All right. Marsh, thank you. All right, John, you're going to get 4 football-related questions today. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Which 2 teams lost the AFC and NFC championship games last season? It's not this past Sunday, but last season.
Let's see here. Last year was the Eagles, so that was... When the 49ers lost that game, and
All right, John, you're starting to cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Let me get near the garage. Who's the Chiefs beat? Let me go and get the options.
Ravens and Commanders, Bills and Commanders, or Bills and Rams?
That's what it was. Ravens and Commanders.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2. How many points did the Eagles score in the Super Bowl last year?
Ooh, I just saw this recently. Options.
Is it 30, 35, or 40?
35.
Final answer?
Ooh. Yeah.
Question number 3. Where was the Super Bowl held last year?
Last year was the Superdome, if I remember correctly. So New Orleans.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, John, final question. Who scored the first touchdown in last year's Super Bowl?
God, everything last year. Come on, guys. First touchdown in last year's Super Bowl. Do I play the chalk and say Saquon? Ooh, let me go ahead and get the options.
Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Cooper DeJean.
Ooh. I'm going to go Cooper DeJean.
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring back Jamie from the Cone of Silence. John, how you feeling?
Iffy.
Okay.
We'll say 50-50 at best.
Okay. All right. Jamie is back from the Cone of Silence. How was it, Jamie?
Very silent. There's not a lot of people around to begin with.
Not a soul, huh?
Grant's gone. He did his job. He's out of here. Jordan's not around. Ryder. Yeah, quiet.
All right, well,
how'd my guy John do?
Jamie?
Yeah.
The category is football.
Oh, I love football, Carey.
Jamie?
Yeah.
Pack a lunch.
Okay.
Question 1. Which two teams lost the AFC and NFC championship games last season?
Oh, okay. Commanders, NFC. AFC, this is where it gets blurry. It was the Ravens and the Bills. Crap. I feel like it was the Bills. I feel like Josh Allen just couldn't get over the hump. Or was it the Ravens? This is going to kill me. It's one or the other. It's Finkel or Einhorn. All right, I know. I'm wasting time. Or were the Bills with early exit last year? I'll go Ravens, Commanders. Final answer. Ugh.
Question number 2. How many points did the Eagles score in the Super Bowl last year?
Oh, I believe it was 40. 40. Yeah, I'll go with 40. Final answer.
Question number 3. Where was the Super Bowl held last year?
Last year was at the Superdome, wasn't it? New Orleans. Give me New Orleans. Final answer.
Final question. Who scored the first touchdown in last year's Super Bowl?
What team?
No, player.
Player. I was going to say it was the Eagles. I think it was Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Final answer, please.
All right, let's go over these. John versus Jamie in football today. Where was the Super Bowl held last year? John said New Orleans. Jamie said New Orleans. Correct answer is
New Orleans.
We got a 2-2 tie. Neither of you guys needed the options on that one.
Nice, John.
Which two teams lost the AFC and NFC championship games last season? You guys both mulled over this answer for the longest out of all the questions.
Sorry.
Hey, no apology necessary. You guys were trying to think of it. You both went with the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders. Correct answer is?
It is the Commanders.
Yes, sir.
And the Bills.
Son of a...
Ravens lost to the Bills in the divisional round. That was the Mark Andrews game.
Oh.
Josh Allen went to KC, lost again. Still tied 2-2. Who scored the first touchdown in last year's Super Bowl? John said Cooper DeJean. Jamie said Jalen Hurts. Correct answer is
Jalen Hurts.
It's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jamie with a 2-point lead. How many points did the Eagles score in the Super Bowl last year? Jamie said 40. John said 35. Correct answer is?
It is 40.
John.
You have chosen poorly.
Johnny got you 6-2, man. Sorry.
You.
Sorry, John. We still love you.
Love you guys too, man.
Good job, John.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing, John.
Always. Thank you.
All
See you
right.
later, brother.
Based on his response, I feel like John really thought he had us then. He's like, I'm just going
I
to.
like John that much more right now.
You liked him before.
I
Now
liked
you
him
like him
before,
even
but I like
more.
him that much more because he's pissed that he lost. I like that.
Yeah.
The timing of that. Mother.
You've lost. That's awesome.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Jamie. All right. Is Joel Hofer making Jordan Binnington tradable?
What?
Oh, man.
Why is Hofer trading Binnington?
He shouldn't be allowed to. He's not even the GM.
He's not in charge of that.
No. Maybe he is, though. We'll discuss it next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, I love our guy Stewie. First of all, as we like to say, he's a psychopath.
Oh, the best kind, though.
Yeah, you and I, we consider ourselves psychopaths in certain areas. our guy Stewie is because he researches what's going on with the Federal Reserve, what's going on with the job reports. He scours over the job reports. He looks at everything from a big picture standpoint because he wants to put you in the best spot when you're trying to secure a loan, whether you need to refi and now is a good time or a bad time to do so, or maybe you got something else going on and you just need cash right now. And Stewie's going to find the best program for you because he's developed his own programs to help save you money.
Yeah, he's the best, man. He really is. So no matter what your issue is, give him a call. Well, for me, I was purchasing a home, and I'd known Stewie for a few years, and so he was my first phone call. Call him, hey, buddy, I'm not calling for any other reasons. I'm actually in the market. Now he's awesome. Let's take care of you. Pre-approval letter was there. All the paperwork. I had to get him some things, but it was so easy. The process was easy. And we got to the closing table, no time at all. No problems, no snags, nothing. And he got me a great rate. And he's already told me I'm on the clock. He's watching. As soon as it's time to refinance, he's going to do that. Going to use the bag loan, which is zero. It costs you nothing at all. So Stewie's the guy. Our guy. He needs to be your guy. His cell phone number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him. Even if you're working with somebody else, give him a call. Ask for a second opinion. Stewie is more than happy to help you out. And if you missed any of the information we just gave you or the phone number,
you can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Is Joel Hofer making Jordan Binnington tradable? Now, we checked. Joel Hofer cannot trade Jordan Binnington.
No, he can't.
No.
He does not have
that he wants to.
I don't think he wants to. No, those guys are... what's funny is they're really good friends. Like, they've got a great working relationship. But I understand the question because Joel Hofer is playing very, very well. And we're hearing all sorts of things through the media of basically nobody's untouchable on the Blues. And that Doug Armstrong is not actively pursuing trades, but the phone's on, as it should be. I'm not going to word it like some of these other people do, make it sound worse than it is. No, his phone's on. If you want to call him and you want to make him an offer on Thomas, Carey, Binnington, whoever your player is, he'll listen.
Mm-hmm.
But you better blow him away with a great offer right now because he's under no pressure to change anything until the deadline.
Yeah.
That being said, let's look at it two different ways. One way is it doesn't really help your team because you have a really good tandem. And I know Jordan Binnington's having we'll call it a tougher year than he would like to be having right now. But I think we all agree that when the chips are on the line, like this guy's an unbelievable goalie. He's one of the best in big games. Problem is the Blues haven't had a lot of big games. They made the playoffs last year, played very well in that 7-game series, but ultimately you lost. So if you're looking at it from a standpoint of I want to be competitive again next year, then keeping Jordan Binnington is probably a good idea because it gives you that 1A, 1B, meaning like take your pick too. Is it Hofer or Binnington 1A? Who cares? You know, you've got one more year of Binnington following this season at $6 million. This is probably when you're going to get the most for him. If you're looking at it from that standpoint, you're going to, because the teams who are trading for him are obviously a team that believes they're a contender, and they're going to get another year of Jordan Binnington. So if they're a contender now, odds are they're probably going to be a really good team again next year. And that means that they're going to have a goalie in place for the this year's playoff run and maybe next year's playoff run. And who better to have in the playoffs than Jordan Binnington? You know, like, also, if we're going down the path, and if and only if we're going down the Marshy's organic tank, let's go back to the season where Jordan Binnington's backup goalie was Thomas Greiss. Nothing against Thomas Greiss, but they could barely play him because he wasn't very good. Did not have a good season. So Binnington got overplayed that year and blah, blah, blah. But my point in this is if you kept Hofer, like who's the backup?
Right.
You don't really have one, even in the minors, like your Colton Ellis, who's now in Buffalo. Like, he's gone. You could bring up a guy, but maybe this plays into Marshy's organic tank so that every start that guy gets, you have a greater chance of losing and a greater chance of staying in a spot for a high draft pick. So ultimately, it all depends on what Doug Armstrong and Alex Steen think is next year's team. Like, what are they going to look like? Because it's not that I'm giving up on this season, but I'm also a realist. That doesn't seem like they're a playoff team.
What?
Yeah.
Despite what we said at the beginning of the show.
I said it doesn't seem.
We had the whole first segment.
Well, yes.
You brought me on board.
Carey
got really excited
for you.
I was on the outside looking in, and you said it could happen.
How could you, man? How could you?
It's all in the wording, Carey. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Like for people who don't believe, it doesn't seem.
It's like
for us who believe,
glass half full, glass half empty.
That's how you look at it.
I got
right?
you. Okay, I'm back in.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so if you're
man, you're good.
For those reasons too, you know, so you just don't know which direction the Blues are going to go in when it comes to that.
You know, I was going to ask Jordan Binnington is a start if he's traded to Team X.
Yep,
he's their starting goaltender.
Oh, he's the guy.
And so, if that's the case? If you're trading for a starting goalie, what are you getting in return? Are you looking at draft capital? Are you looking at a younger player? Because I would assume that a team that is trading for a player like Jordan Binnington is not. They're a team that thinks that they can win a Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah, they're not giving you back a top player because then that would be weakening.
That would defeat the purpose of why they traded for him. So, what is the actual return from a team that believes that they are one piece away from actually competing for a Stanley Cup? What is that return?
Could be a first-round pick.
Okay.
You know, it depends how desperate a team is come trade deadline time. And if you're the Blues, if you are going down that path of trading Jordan Binnington, then you're hoping he goes to the Olympics, is unreal, comes back, unreal, and now everybody's foaming at the mouth for a goalie. And pick your team. Like, even the Oilers, they went and traded for Tristan Jarry, but if they think Jordan Binnington's the guy, or Toronto Maple Leafs, like, you find a team that's right possibly there, or that has an injury. Like, if Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky goes down, boom, let's go get Binnington, because Tampa Bay's got a hell of a team again this year. So it's a team that will overpay for the now, and that's what you're looking for.
You know, I just thought of this, too. At some point, Joel Hofer is going to have to play in the playoffs. And I think if Jordan Binnington is on your roster, he will be your guy. So at some point, if you look to have Joel Hofer be your number one goalie in the future, he needs those playoff reps. If once you do get back to the playoffs, and if Binnington's on the roster, I think I'm going with that guy.
Well, what's odd, not oddly enough, as we're talking about this, I just wanted to refresh my brain, so I went back and checked it out, and Binnington's going tonight. So that's 2 games in a row now for Binnington. Mm-hmm. And at one point, they were going 2 Hofer, 1 Binnington for every 3 games. Now they're going back to Binnington. What are you laughing
at? I'm laughing at Anthony.
Oh.
His face.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny.
No, he made a face. Not
That's
his
what I
normal
meant.
face.
What's your problem?
Jeez.
I wasn't talking about his face. He's a very handsome man.
Very handsome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie and Carey.
You're welcome.
His nose is very strong.
It's very strong.
Character.
Very prominent.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I made the face because I don't disagree with what you just said, Marsh, about, the playoffs and who's on the roster, all that. That's not why you would trade Binnington, though. You trade him because you're going to get good value for him.
100%. That's not the reason why.
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
It's just a thought that just crossed my brain.
And I totally understand what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I would hope that if Joel Hofer is the guy, Monty would just say, look, he's performing better right now. That's it, despite the playoff history. But I understand why you said it the way you did.
Are you surprised that I didn't mean to cut you off? Are you surprised that Binnington is going tonight?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A bit. I am, but I'm not, because his numbers against the Dallas Stars over his career are fantastic.
Yeah, he played fine the other night.
Oh, he was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was really good. Without him, you're not in that situation to even lose the game with a minute left, But I don't know what strategy they're using right now or how they're approaching things. Who knows? That's internal stuff. That
What do you think, Anthony?
I just don't know.
I think you should retain both guys. I think one of the things that we overlook, we as fans, we as in the media, we get so hopped up about trading guys. Why? What's the point? What's the goal of trading somebody?
You're asking, is that a rhetorical question or is that a real question?
I guess it's half and half.
Okay, so because you looked at me and I thought maybe you wanted a response, but then I didn't think you.
Not sure you did.
So I think
okay, go ahead.
can answer it.
Yeah,
I think you trade.
I actually didn't know when I asked it.
Well, you're about to find out.
Go for it.
I think you trade a player that has high value, that if your team is not in a winning window right now. So we look at Brendan Donovan as a perfect example. Like, your team is probably not in a winning window, but that player's value is as high as it can be. And so you could either waste that player, who is obviously a really good player for you, or you can trade that player away and get more value for your team that will help kind of
in the future
speed up the process for the future to open up that winning window. That's what I think you would trade a player for.
Okay, so that's in line with what I'm thinking. Unless it's a player-for-player swap, which is rare.
Yeah.
A player-for-player swap would mean, hey, we're dealing from depth and we need something. You need something. Let's swap players, and we both come out winners in that regard. Otherwise, you're trading a player for the now for you're trading what you have now for the future. You're trading a player so that your future is better. Mm-hmm. I don't know if trading Jordan Binnington now answers that second part of it. If you trade Binnington now, what are you getting in return that sets you up better for your future? If the answer makes sense, then all right, trade him. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times you're not getting fans aren't getting what you think the value is going to be.
Right.
And in that case, trading him just to trade him doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, I misspoke earlier. I forgot. My brain was stuck on Dallas. Binnington played in Dallas. Hofer played against the Kings. So it is 1-1-1-1.
Okay,
I don't know. I brain farted.
You know what, Jamie?
What?
None of us had your back. Not on one of us. The text line had your back. Not on one of us.
You said it was true.
Yep.
Well,
I wouldn't.
I'm just Jamie.
Let's play that game
in this situation. Not
Jamie. I'm disgusted with us. I am.
But if we go one step further here with this to kind of wrap it up, Both Hofer and Binnington are under contract this year and next year, and then Hofer's restricted free agent, Binnington's an unrestricted free agent. If you believe you have another goalie in your system, to which I think the Blues kind of believe that with this kid from Sweden, a really good player, was a goalie of the tournament in the World Junior Championship, but he's not ready yet. So maybe it looks like you talk to Jordan Binnington. If you, to your point, if you're not getting that much better, if it doesn't really help you with your whatever you're doing, your plans for the future,
the build.
Yeah, we'll just call it the build now.
That's what the Cardinals are calling it.
Yeah,
maybe
it's smart, honestly.
Maybe you try and entertain a situation where you say, okay, Jordan, we're going to flip-flop you guys in 2 years. So you're going to make $3 million, Hofer's going to make $6 million, and he's 1A, you're 1B.
Right.
But we want to keep you with the team, because he would imagine having Jordan Binnington as your backup goalie.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense, and he's making half the money.
Yeah, as opposed to letting him go and then just
trying to
signing
find
a
another
veteran.
guy.
Yeah, signing a veteran like a Thomas Greiss. No offense,
No
but
offense to him
bringing
or some
him
of
back.
the other guys that were here, But now Binnington would have to, at that point, and his agent would have to say, well, yeah, we've lost value in the market, but a year from now, somebody might still overpay.
Right.
Somebody else might give him $6-7 million for a couple of years.
Sure.
So it's tough.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're going to play Fill in the Blank next. So send us a statement with your fill in the blank. 314-399-9646. Where to send it to the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, we'll play Fill in the Blank next.
Well, we got the Seahawks and the Patriots in the big game coming up, and there's no better way to get involved than to get on your Circus Sports app and start checking things out. They've got the player props, they got the parlays, so many great things available on the Circus Sports app, and it's easy to find it. Go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and punch in Circus Sports. You look for the white logo. That's the one for the state of Missouri. Click on that, and away you go. And Circus Sports, they've got great lines on futures bets. So if you're looking at the Stanley Cup or the NBA, you can get a great read or great lines on those. You got tight money line splits every single night, and they have the best odds of any app that is out there. So you want to make sure you get on there and then check it out. And let's not forget, too, that the Circus Sports, they've got the Circus Squares. And that's where it's the stuff for the big game. And you don't just get assigned a number, you get to pick your number. So that's a nice little twist that they've got going on there. And Circus Sports, too, let's remember that they celebrate their winners. They want you to keep playing, keep winning, and having a great time. They don't cut you off or limit you or just render your account inactive. No, they keep you going, man. That's what it's all about. So please download that app on the App Store. You can also visit circasports.com. Lots of information on there as well. That's Circus Sports. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Blues take on the Dallas Stars tonight, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed our interviews with Kyle Gibson and Steve Ott, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We are going to play Fill in the Blank next, so text in your fill in the blank statement to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Blank, 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 blank.
Fill in some blanks.
Time to play Fill in the Blank next here on 101 ESPN. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Go ahead, Marsh, fire away.
All right, from the 314, if Russell Wilson and the Seahawks would have won back-to-back Super Bowls against Manning and Brady, his legacy would be blank.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say so.
I think he's a Hall of Famer if he has two of them. And could have all been so simple if he just handed the ball off. I don't think he even had to be the Super Bowl MVP in both of them. I think Russell Wilson's trajectory was Hall of Famer, and I think his last, 4 years have pushed him out of that conversation.
Yeah, had he retired 4 years ago, his numbers and what he did were pretty darn impressive. Now, though, it's like, it's kind of tainted a little bit.
We got 2 years in Denver, a year in Pittsburgh, a year in New York.
Oh.
That one's tough because I still think that people will remember what became of his career. You know, he kind of forced his way out of Seattle. He wanted to be a pocket passer that put up a bunch of big-time numbers, just like the other, big-time quarterbacks, and become an MVP. That's what Russell Wilson wanted. So the Seahawks say, you know what? No, we're going to trade you to Denver because we don't have that same vision. We don't share that same vision. Goes to Denver and becomes an absolute joke. And he really hasn't he has not resurrected his career since. He was okay in Pittsburgh last year, but everybody makes the playoffs under Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. What? So, I mean, Duck Hodges made the playoffs in Pittsburgh.
You give Duck some credit.
So while he probably would have been a Hall of Famer based on that requirement, I still think a lot of people remember the end of the career and how he basically became a walking meme.
Yeah, that's tough. I actually, because I'm a psychopath, I watched that game this morning. Not the full game. I kind of, zoomed through some of it, but I watched the final two drives from each team. And one thing, I wonder if the Seahawks would have had two of their timeouts at the end of that game if they run that football instead of passing it. They had an incomplete pass, and then they took a timeout. So the clock stopped, but because they weren't ready to really get that play off, they called timeout. Maybe it's because of, the defense or whatnot. So they burned one timeout, and then the Jermaine Kearse catch, because they took so long to get down the field, they had to burn another timeout. So they only had one timeout heading into, those final few plays. I wonder if they have at least one more. They end up running the football knowing that they have more than one timeout left.
Yeah.
It's just weird things like that ultimately lead to certain decisions.
And there's been articles, and I think somebody had it in a book, where Belichick looked over to the Seahawks sidelines and saw that it was in mass chaos and decided not to call the timeout to give them extra time, because he could have called the timeout too, knowing that they were about to score. You want to preserve some time for Brady, and he looked over there and said, I'm not going to call the timeout. There's just mass chaos over there. And maybe they wind up making a mistake. Was his thought. They're about to make a dumb decision, and turns out he was right in that line of thinking.
Well, and they had practiced that exact play.
Yeah.
in the week that they knew Seahawks were going to run. That they do run that play, and Malcolm Butler even said it one time in an interview. He's like, as it was happening, I knew the pass was coming. I knew I could jump the pass.
Yeah.
You know,
that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome stuff.
Patriots coach looking on the other sideline and saying, you're going to mess this up.
Mike Vrabel style.
They had one timeout, too. They could have ran the ball.
Yeah, they should have, obviously, they should have ran the football because Marshawn Lynch gained a decent chunk on the play prior to the interception.
Sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they run a pass play the play before that?
Well, it was Jermaine Kearse catch that got him in within like the 10-yard line. Then they ran the ball with Marshawn, and then they threw the interception.
I thought there was another pass play directly before that, and they kind of got the look that they wanted. And Lockett would have been open. I could be so. I could be making this up.
Anthony, I don't know if
Bottom
you are
line
or
is,
not.
turn around.
I watch it this morning.
Turn around and hand the ball to Lynch. Turn the ball and turn around and hand the ball to Lynch.
Sounds like a pretty solid game plan to me.
If you got Marshawn Lynch, it's like having Derrick Henry, Jerome Bettis. Like you've got who the hell's stopping that?
Well, also you had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter with the Legion of Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have given up that lead.
Yeah.
And at the time, the largest comeback was only 7 points. So that at that point, it was a 10. Yeah. In the fourth quarter for
they got a interception. An interception. The Seahawks did. Oh no, I'm reading it wrong. Sorry. They had the ball. They had a 7-yard drive. They incomplete, 11-yard pass, 33-yard pass, 4-yard run down to the 1-yard line. And then they threw another interception. They threw an interception. So it was a 33-yard pass to Kearse, and then the 4-yard run.
And that was like the acrobatic circus catch. Wasn't he on his back when he caught it?
Yep, hit his leg. All that fun stuff. All right, from the Waterboy, fill in the blank. The Cardinals opening day third baseman is blank.
Nolan Gorman. Is it?
That's not a bad.
Doesn't work the same.
Depending on who the opposing pitcher is, either Nolan Gorman or Thomas Jason.
Yeah, I
think those two guys platoon.
You got to let them play, man. Lefty, righty, just let them play.
Who do you want to play there?
Who do I want to play there? Nolan Gorman.
All right.
100.
Yeah, I'm with that.
30 games
to start the season. I'm with that. I mean, you might as well. If this is a guy you're going to go with, give him opening day.
Sure.
Let's just see.
Hey, if he sucks, then we'll go from there.
I don't
mind that at all. I think the Cardinals will probably go with a committee there or platoon there. So, but I'll say Gorman to fill in the blank.
From the 618, fill in the blank. Blank is your Super Bowl MVP.
Drake May.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It's a good one too. Say it, Anthony. Say it.
He won.
Got a lot to prove.
Sandar.
There you go. Got the most to prove of anybody in football.
Good. I think this is one of those games where it could get goofy and it winds up being a defensive player.
Really?
Yeah.
Both
like
teams. Yeah.
That would be much needed for him.
Both teams are similar in that their pace is similar. They don't run like high pace. They don't do a lot of no huddle. They don't go up tempo. They both want to control the game. So I could see it being kind of one or two big plays decide it, and that winds up being your Super Bowl MVP.
Huh.
Just a thought.
I don't hate it.
Otherwise, Sam Darnold.
About Kenneth Walker.
I think he's going to be chalk, and I don't think he gets there.
Wow. What's your problem with him?
I love him. I think he's great.
That doesn't sound like it.
Earlier in the year, I'm like, Zach Charbonnet, he's a good player. Why don't we feature Kenneth Walker?
I do think if it's the Seahawks, you have a multitude of players that it could be. But if it's the Patriots and they win, I mean, it has to be Drake May. Like, he will be the reason why they win. Like, are you relying on Ramondre Stevenson to...
He might need that 2.5 yards.
Carry the mail?
I don't think the Patriots are going to be able to run the ball at all. So unless it's Drake May. So I'm with you. Either Drake May, and then he spreads the ball around, or maybe somebody catches like 2 touchdowns.
Or maybe they hand it off to Travion Henderson and he breaks it for 60 yards.
They don't like him.
They may need to feature him more in this game.
What about Cooper Kupp? What if he gets before.
He has won one before.
Yes, he has. Now, I don't think he's going to see the amount of targets, but
could be Jake Bobo.
Maybe that's the zig. Is you just load up on Cooper Kupp all day.
Now you're thinking.
Because nobody's covering that guy. He's too old.
It's too old.
He's too good.
And it's definitely not going to be fake Cooper Kupp. Jake Bobo.
You never know. He could have
maybe
2 catches for 2 touchdowns.
Again, the Rams and the 49ers had zero respect for that guy. Like, we don't need to cover this guy. They don't throw him the ball. Big first down, big touchdown. You're right, Marsh. It's going to be Jake Bobo.
I wonder what the odds on that are.
Probably pretty good.
They'll never give it to him.
Nah. Never say never.
I think it's pretty safe.
Okay.
Nah, you got to believe, man. Everybody signs that contract.
That's right. You signed it.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Jake Bobo.
All right.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys a blasphemous question. Did Mo leave the Cardinals in better shape than we thought?
What?
I told you. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, my.
Chastain on 101 ESPN. As expected, we got a text message into the Air Comfort Service text line after I teased. Did Mo leave the Cardinals in better shape than we thought? Somebody on the text line said, you're fast lane crazy, Anthony, for even talking about this.
I'm anxious to hear the thought process on this because Chaim Bloom has been nothing but super busy getting rid of everything John Mozeliak had here. So I'm trying to see the other side of it, Anthony.
Yeah, sure. So did Mo leave the Cardinals in better shape than we thought? Absolutely not, but I appreciate you hanging on through the break. It's called an effective tease.
Yeah, but suckers.
I don't know. Let's talk about this anyways. If you go to ESPN's top 100 prospects in baseball right now, top 100, Cardinals have 6 players. Number 7, J.J. Weatherholt. First-round pick in 2024. That was Mo's last first-round pick. Because 2025, I'm going to give that to Chaim Bloom. Even though it was Mo, we're crediting.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a completely different feel to it with all the pitching that was acquired. So, again, the 2025 draft, I'm going to give that to Bloom. That'll kind of be Bloom's first draft. Liam Doyle is part of this group too. He's 50 in terms of the top 100 prospects.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that would be a Bloom pick. But J.J. Weatherholt was number 7, first-round pick in 2024. Rodriguez, the young catcher, was a 2024 international signing, also by Mo. Joshua Baez, second-round pick in the 2021 MLB draft. He's listed at number 93. By the way, Rainiel Rodriguez, who I just mentioned, the catcher, he's 19th on this list. Liam Doyle, 50th. Joshua Baez, 93rd. And then Leonardo Bernal, Mo international signing in 2021. So, I don't think that Mo left the Cardinals in better shape than we thought. I think he left it exactly how we thought, which is Bloom's got a lot, to Jamie's point, Bloom's got a lot of cleaning up to do. He's overseeing a rebuild for a reason. And the biggest criticism, I think, and the fairest criticism of Mo is he left the minor leagues deteriorated. I mean, each and every year, the minor league system.
That's the problem I have.
I'm talking about from a development standpoint.
Yeah.
Obviously, the cupboard might not be completely barren as I list off these players. And I was actually surprised to see 6 in there, 5 of which were Mo, either international signings or draft picks. So, again, the cupboard wasn't completely bare. But the biggest criticism I have is the minor league development. I mean, there's been reports done by this, whether it was Katie Wu at The Athletic or Derek Gould at STLtoday.com, talking about the lack of resources for the minor league players, whether it was the pitching lab or they fell behind in certain analytics that could help develop players perhaps a little more effectively. Not enough coaching, not enough scouting. That's a DeWitt thing, but Mo oversaw the minor leagues. So that, I think, is the biggest criticism.
I mean, it's a DeWitt thing, but now why is Bloom able to fill those voids in, if it's a DeWitt thing?
That I can't answer, but I do wonder if Bloom takes over and says, look, you want me to fix this thing? It starts in the minor leagues. Here's the problems. And then perhaps the DeWitts say, okay, you're going to get a budget. This is where this is like an outside. Somebody even the Cardinals might be listening right now and like, you're an idiot. I am an idiot, but you have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you, Jamie. You have no idea. That's not how it went. But here's my read on it. The DeWitts say, here's your budget. I know you want more, but this is what it is. Spend it either in the minors, the majors, however you want to do it. And Mo kept running it back with some of the mid-range free agents, right? Bloom now, as we know, the payroll's not going to be high for the upcoming team.
No.
Perhaps he's getting a similar budget, but he's saying, I got to redo this here in the minors. Mm-hmm. I have to allocate those funds to the minors first. And I'm going to tell the fan base the truth and that we're in a rebuild or a build here. I'm going to take the same budget restraint, but I'm going to apply it to the minor leagues because I got to do that first before I can even touch the big league squad. Mm-hmm. That's my read on it.
I don't think you're wrong. And I think the fact that Bloom being the new guy gets that opportunity, whereas Mo probably couldn't have come to you 15, 20 years in and say, hey, so everything we've done for the last 12, 15 years, we're going to scratch that.
Change this thing up.
Change it up. Ain't been working the way I wanted to. We're going to do. And so you kind of get stuck in a situation where you've already gone, you've taken a path, and it's much easier to just continue to go back down that path, to stay down that path than retracing your steps and kind of starting over. So that's probably you're probably actually correct in the amount of money that is being delivered. Hey, this is the budget. Spend it how you want. Okay, cool. I know this player. They're no longer going to be on the roster. I'll be able to save money here. We can find, and the way we're going to get better is by having this farm system be much better than it has been in the past. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to worry about putting out a team this year that people expect to win. I'm the new guy. You're going to give me some time. Whereas I don't think Mo was afforded that time because you get to a point where, all right, another championship. Same thing I was saying about Pittsburgh. All right, another one. We need another championship. What are we doing? Why aren't we there? And to kind of hit the pause button and reset. All right, yeah, we can get there, but it's going to take about 3 more. No. Hell no. And so now they're looking at Chaim Bloom and saying, okay, we'll give you that 3-year window that you need to kind of fix the things that have been broken over the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my read on it, too. And we have to remember something, too, is whenever there's a new hire, that person, and it's not right, because the person on their way out, in this case, Mo resigned, but had he been fired, the allocation of funds and resources throughout the years, it was like a funnel. It was lots of it, and then down to like almost nothing for Mo. And now they're reopening the funnel for the new guy. And I'm not saying they're going to pour a whole bunch of money in, but they're letting him do his thing, which, again, it's not right.
Right.
Because you limited one individual to the point of, well, we'll just call it failure. And now you're kind of reopening things up because you're like, oh, yeah, the new guy's demanding this. We better keep him happy for now,
Right.
So that's kind of weird because if that's the way it went down, or maybe Mo just was so short-sighted in all this that he just overlooked the fact that his minor league system and all of his development was falling apart, but didn't care because the team kept limping into the playoffs year after year.
Yeah, we don't know. It would be interesting to know some of the inner workings of the Mo and DeWitt dynamic and how Mo decided to allocate those funds. But what we do know is they held on to players like Dylan Carlson and some of these other quote-unquote top prospects, and they wound up failing at the big league level. Now, were they the wrong players, or was it just a lack of development in the minors? And at some point, they just said, "Look, we gotta roll with this. We have to have these players at the big league level. Right? We have to cash in on some of these young prospects."
There was a lot of missteps with that. I mean, look at the Dylan Carlson situation, some of the pitching situations, and you look at. Yeah, I'm not going to cast a vote yet on Walker and Gorman, but like so many things were handled poorly to where the Cardinals held on for dear life of some of these young prospects and whatnot, and then end up blowing up in their face. They were overvaluing them.
Yeah, they were. And the other thing too, when you look at the young prospects that came up, a lot of them, not all of them, of course. A lot of them felt like, wow, you seem capped. You seem limited. You seem like the ceiling isn't that high. Yeah, it's your top prospect. We're all excited. Maybe even the minor league numbers are pretty good. Then you got up, you're like,
you don't do this well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right away.
Yes.
You know what?
It wasn't,
you can hit.
It wasn't eye-popping.
You're a catcher that can't throw runners out. What's up with that?
Right.
It's kind of weird,
There's something missing.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
All right, well, now that we got to the bottom of that. Biggest question of the day is next on 101 ESPN.
time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
5:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Speaking of biggest question of the day, or speaking of Marsh, he's got the biggest question of the day.
All right, I want to go back to our healthy discussion with Kyle Gibson earlier today. We were talking about parity in Major League Baseball and in the NFL. And so the question is today, is parity in the NFL, is that a myth?
Ooh, spicy.
It's a lot of... I think Kyle Gibson had the numbers for us too, and somebody else had posted this on Twitter, and they said, let me pull this up real quick. They were talking about the AFC champions. So since 2016, I think, in the AFC. You had, from 2016 to 2018, it was the Patriots. 2019, 2020, the Chiefs. 2021, Bengals. 2022, 24 through 24 is the Chiefs. And now 2025, the Patriots. So only three teams total. Chiefs, Bengals, and Patriots. That's it in the AFC to win the AFC championship, right? So somebody tweeted it out. What's funny is that somebody else tweeted out in response to that, this was the most unlikely Super Bowl matchup that we could have had based on like the preseason odds.
Yeah, The Athletic put something together and had all those between these two teams, which is funny because, the Patriots are a team that we're accustomed to seeing.
Sure, but because of the turnover, where they were a year ago, this was like the least likely Super Bowl matchup we could possibly see. So it's kind of funny. There's a lot of people that are baseball fans, and they say, well, there's no parity in the NFL. Parity is a myth. Look, this is proof. And yet this is the least likeliest matchup we could have gotten based on the preseason odds and all that.
In ever, Bob.
Ever.
Or at least in the last 25-ish years. I think the second team, or the second ranked in terms of Super Bowl is when the Rams took on the Titans.
Mm-hmm. So what does it mean, though? Is it a myth? Is parity in the NFL a myth? Because I don't feel that way, and I feel like a lot of times people cherry pick looking at either the conference championships or the Super Bowl and saying, see, we get the same teams a lot.
Well,
what if you widen that scope to include teams like a year ago, the Washington Commanders going from the second to last team in the NFL. That's how they get the number 2 pick to the NFC Championship game. That screams parity.
Does it? They didn't. Yes and no. I think the NFL makes it easier for a last place team to go from worst to first than any other league because you're going to play the worst of the worst. Yeah, like you're playing the fourth place teams if you are a fourth place finisher. Mm-hmm. So that's what your schedule is going to be. And then you're going to play one opposite division or one opposite division in cross conference. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to play your 6 games in your division. So if you can win and you're playing 4 games against, really bad teams, you can split maybe your division and find a way to go split 2 of those out of conference games against one of those divisions, you do find a way to, I think, go from worst to first easier than in pretty much any other sport. Just based on the schedule.
Wouldn't that be parity though?
I don't know if that's parity because you're playing bad teams.
All right, let's look at this another way. Last baseball season, who did you guys have representing the National League in the World Series?
Dodgers. I actually had the Phillies.
Okay. Dodgers.
I had
Dodgers.
I think it was the Dodgers.
Yeah, so 3 out of the 4 of us. Marsh loves to be different. He wants to see different teams. He's somebody that lives by, hey, I'm going to kind of put this into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Let's manifest this. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I think Marsh probably would have taken the Dodgers, right? Like if your life depended on it.
If my life depended on it, probably roll with the Dodgers. Okay. I think I went with the Phillies because at the end of the day, it's not like the Phillies are that far off in terms of spending and their roster construction.
Okay.
The AL, I had the Orioles, a team like up and coming. they didn't have a good year.
No, they didn't. But the Dodgers, for the majority of us, we had the Dodgers in the World Series. How many of us had the Seahawks in the playoffs?
I think we had one.
Oh, yeah, that was me.
You.
Well, yeah, because you backed your boy.
Dead last, by the way. That was my last team for the Walker.
Yeah.
And now they're in the Super Bowl.
And my last team was the Patriots.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, why would we lean so heavily with the Dodgers?
Because they're a good team.
Oh, okay.
They got dudes.
All right. There's way more parity in the NFL than there is in Major League Baseball.
Oh, I would say.
But no, because I think all of us also probably had the Chiefs. So, like, the expectation.
And they didn't even make the playoffs.
A lot of us had
that's kind of proving your point.
The Eagles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's kind of proving his point.
Patrick Mahomes getting hurt. It makes life easier for the teams to be more equal.
Yeah,
if Patrick Mahomes doesn't get hurt, you think?
But who had the Bears winning the NFC North?
No.
Nobody had the Bears winning the NFC North. We thought it was going to be the Lions and Packers battle. The Lions finished last in the division. Didn't see that coming.
Right.
So maybe you're onto something.
You're welcome, Jamie.
I think the parity.
Didn't thank you.
I think it comes in cycles, though, for certain teams. We get so used to, we're so used to seeing the Chiefs. Okay, how about we go back 10 years ago? That wasn't even a conversation. Like, they're okay.
Yeah.
But even before that, not really a conversation. It's just as of recent where the Chiefs have been dominant, right? Maybe they take a step back. I don't know. And then they reload, and all of a sudden they become what we're seeing right now from the Patriots. The Patriots might not even...
This might not be real.
This might not be real. They actually might not even make the playoffs next year. Like, we don't know. We have no clue. I just think that there's cycles, and I think the same thing, you could say the same thing for Major League Baseball in a sense with all the other teams except for the Dodgers. The Padres could go away. So, maybe, I don't know. It's not like the Phillies weren't good until they got Bryce Harper. Like, it took them a long time to get back to being the Phillies. The last time we saw that was when Ryan Howard and that team took on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So we get a text from Mahomes' long body, and this is a pretty good text. It says it's easier for strange things to happen in 17 games as opposed to 162.
Yeah.
Injuries can destroy an NFL season.
Yeah.
So that's something to take into consideration.
It's certainly a great point.
Because you can derail for 2 or 3 weeks and you're done.
Yeah.
Whereas in baseball, you can make up that.
It also, though, goes to show you that over 162 games, what typically should happen, i.e. the Dodgers making the playoffs and making a deep run, should actually happen because it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But they're right. One quarterback injury can completely derail a team. The Colts, unfortunately for Kyle Gibson's Colts, that's what happened. That's what's happened.
Now, let me ask this question. The NFL, if you do believe that there is parity, do you believe what we have seen so far in the playoffs this year with a lot of new teams, has that been good for the NFL? Is this Super Bowl matchup good for the NFL and for the viewers? Because we've had people say, like, I really don't care about the Super Bowl this year.
In St. Louis?
Sure.
So I think it's a tougher read when it comes to St. Louis. Obviously, one, we're pissed, we're pissed that what the NFL did. 2, it's the Patriots. And it's the Seahawks. Like, I wonder how much the conversation would be different in St. Louis if it's the Lions and the Bills.
Yeah, I'm definitely more intrigued.
I think that this is, if you're a football fan, I think this is an excellent matchup. So if you don't like football, you're not going to watch anyways.
Just drink beer and have snacks.
Yeah, right.
Get yourself a Zwickle Light.
Yeah, there you go.
It tastes great.
Do you think the teams matter to people in terms of matchups, or do you think it's more so the quarterback and the name, right? Like Drake May's second year versus Sam Darnold, a guy who just came on the scene as of last year. We know Sam Darnold, his name obviously is a big name, but not for at least a majority of his career, not for a good reason. So now he's kind of like the underdog and has rewritten his story in a sense. But he's not Matthew Stafford. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or even Joe Burrow. He's not one of those guys. He's not even Jalen Hurts. And I know people have their thoughts on Jalen Hurts, but he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won a Super Bowl MVP. Do you think the names of the quarterbacks matter in this matchup?
No, I think it's more about the teams in this matchup. Because it's not Mahomes, it's not Josh Allen, it's not Joe Burrow, it's not Lamar Jackson. It's not, who am I missing, NFC-wise? Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts. No, I think it's more about the matchups. I think you can find, if you're really into football and you've been following the storylines forever, these storylines are outstanding. Mike Vrabel takes over following the dynasty. I mean, the Patriots, did they finish? Were they dead last year?
They were last in their division.
They were last in their division.
Yeah, 4-13, 2 seasons in a row.
To go to the Super Bowl. They had this massive, they had this dynasty, and we keep our, for a very short period of time, Brady, Belichick, who was more, it was both of them, but obviously more Brady, because he goes to Tampa. New England, you're going to be dog crap for the next 10 years, maybe. Good luck. Nope.
Hold my beer.
They got the 2 right guys. They got Mike Vrabel, they got Drake May, and now they're in the Super Bowl. There's those storylines. Sam Darnold, go back to 2019, Monday Night Football against those Patriots. He's seeing ghosts. This guy sucks. Another bust from USC. But dances around, rehabs his worth in Minnesota. Minnesota rolls with the young guy instead of bringing him back. He winds up in Seattle. This show is arguing whether or not he has anything to prove. Because he's Sam Darnold. Who cares? He got paid. He ain't going to do anything. Super Bowl appearance.
Well, he had a lot to prove to Seattle, too. If I'm not mistaken, in his contract,
not going to be able to fit through the door there.
There's a team option after the first year with the Seahawks. So it's like he could have been terrible, and I believe they could have moved on from him.
But he wasn't.
They're going to cut him, aren't they?
Well, not anymore.
If he doesn't win the big game,
about to be a Super Bowl winner.
Whatever, dude.
My point is, those 2 names aren't as big as some of the names that we've seen in the past. So I wonder if it has that cachet as, this is going to be a great Super Bowl matchup. Some people don't even believe in the Patriots.
Why are you talking about his fiance?
No,
it's a different cachet.
What the hell are you doing around here?
Shout out to Cachet.
Shout out. Love you.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Which is more key to a Blues win? Special teams or 5-on-5? Plus, we'll light the lamp next on 101 ESPN.
I've been saying I'm going to stay even keel. I'm not going to get too high or get too low. Watching that is a little bit frustrating. I guess the frustration for me is, I don't know if it's effort. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are intelligent hockey players. Otherwise, you wouldn't be at this level. But it has to be effort. And sometimes when you're struggling, you start to do too much instead of just do what you're supposed to do. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe guys are starting to do too much. I got to be the one to make this play. Mm-hmm. So all three of us start thinking that way. And we're all three going here and, oh, crap. Nope, I don't need to do that. I should do this. So it is frustrating. It is, at times, it feels like a lack of effort and hard work. But I know that's not the case, but it just seems that way. And that's the part that I think is frustrating for fans.
That was our very own Carey Davis on 128-25 last year after a 5-2 loss to Vancouver. That Carey Davis didn't believe that the Blues would make the playoffs.
128-25?
Yep. Almost a year to the date. Almost a year to the date.
I thought that was like 2 weeks ago.
I'll be honest, if I didn't have the note from March in front of me, I would have also thought that was 2 weeks ago.
I thought that was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
From yesterday.
Yeah. I would even said earlier today.
Yeah. Yep. Old habits die hard.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But the bottom line is, Carey didn't believe then, and he doesn't believe now. But we can see this team turn around. So, Jamie, what's more key for a Blues win tonight and moving forward, quite frankly? Special teams or 5-on-5, and you can't say both.
Yes.
Okay. Damn, loophole. Got me.
Oh, man. You spend more of the game at 5-on-5, but obviously special teams play a huge part in it. Look, the Blues special teams can always continue to get better. So I think that's an area of the game that's obviously very important. But 5-on-5 play, for me, has to get better, again, because you spend a bigger percentage of the game at 5-on-5. So you better be good at that. And they just haven't been. And second periods have been a disaster all season long. I mean, their goal differential in the second period is worse than the NHL. So you've got some things that need to be addressed. And 5-on-5 and special teams are two of them. But there's a bigger picture to all this, too, that you've got a lot of things that you're still working on. Now, flip side of that is if we're going to try to isolate trends, the last 3 games or whatever has been a much better overall team effort.
Yeah, you go back to that Dallas game. The Dallas game beforehand, the Blues 2-2 game, both of the goals that the Stars scored were on the power play. They went 2 for 5 in that game. You're taking 5 penalties. You really can't do that against this team in their power play. The Blues also scored on their power play opportunity, but the game against Dallas and then the game prior to that against Winnipeg, other than the 6-on-5 empty net goal that Winnipeg had, 2 of their goals came on the power play. So, you take less penalties. I think the Blues 5-on-5 has gotten, like you said, a little bit better over this course of the last stretch of games. So when you look at how they played against Dallas the other night, what do they have, like 3 shots or something in the first period? Or something like that.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but at the same time, you're limiting their chances.
They played a pretty sound game.
5-on-5.
Played a pretty sound game in Dallas. I mean, look, Dallas is a heck of a hockey club. They've kind of stumbled here a little bit recently, but for the most part, we've been talking about the Avalanche and the Stars all season long and how they're going to be at the top of the food chain in the Western Conference, and they are. So for the Blues, to check as well as they did the other night against them, they're going to have to do that and more tonight because Dallas is going to come to town hungry for a win. They need the points. Certainly, Dallas feels like they didn't put their best effort forward the other night, so we'll see.
I think the answer can be both. I think it can be special teams and 5-on-5. You got to score. You got to score when you're on the power play, Jamie. That's when you have one more player than they do, usually.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. So you got a man advantage, at least, one man advantage. You got to score. Put the biscuit in the basket. Top shelf. Right, Jamie? Or 5-hole. Whatever works.
All of that.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Just score,
really
baby.
Just score, yeah.
Just score, baby.
Generate scoring opportunities and then actually score.
And then don't put yourself on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
Be smart. Make smart decisions.
Yeah.
Play hard. Play right up to the line, right, Jim? Right there.
Yeah.
And then don't go over the line. That's what good, smart hockey players do.
Individuals do that. Yeah, good, smart people do that.
Yeah.
So the Blues are 24th in the NHL in the power play.
Damn.
At 17.3.
Is that good?
No, it's not great. And then on the penalty kill, the Blues are 29th.
Oof.
So, Anthony, what have I always said that Scotty Bowman told our teams in Detroit?
Let me catch you doing something good.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Top 12.
About power play and penalty kill.
Yes, if your power play ranking and your penalty kill ranking combined equal 20 or less?
10 or less.
10 or less, then you are a playoff team and a Stanley Cup contender.
Yes. So that rule, by the way, if you go and look at the history books, any team that falls in that category, pretty damn good hockey team. So the Blues, not there. Not there right now.
And shave that number down.
A lot of shaving.
Well, you mentioned the penalty kill being 29th. I feel like a lot of our conversations have surrounded the power play, but in reality, the power play has been better than their penalty kill has, and we really haven't talked about them shorthanded as opposed to them up a man.
Yeah. Yeah, because believe it or not, people always focus more on the power play.
Right, because you have an opportunity to score. Of course.
And you look at a lot of times people forgive the penalty kill because, well, you're short a guy, you know. The other team's pretty good, too, and they got some good players. You kind of overlook it, but your penalty kill's got a job to do.
Well, also, like, why are you on the penalty kill so much? You know, I just mentioned 5 times against Dallas. You know, is that a lack of moving your feet or, you know?
Wrong, bad positioning a lot of times. Find yourself in the wrong spot, so you're reaching.
I see a lot of reaching.
A lot of reach. There's some games that I have just been not pleased with when I'm watching the guys constantly just fishing for pucks with their stick. At one night, I forget what game it was, but I said, it looks like the St. Louis fencing team. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but in the NHL, like, it's stick on puck, body through body. It's not just sitting there and repeatedly just like trying to, like, little swords going everywhere. And I'm like, guys, you can end this right now by just hammering that guy into the boards and your teammate gets the loose puck instead of the I don't like that. And then you trip a guy or you hook a guy and the stick is going everywhere.
Yeah.
Move your feet. You check with your feet.
Makes sense to me, Jamie. I tell those guys all the time. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. You look good on the TV there, too, Jamie. It's demonstrating with the stick.
I bet that looked impressive, yeah. Oh, boy.
It looks solid.
Oh, there we go.
It was more aggressive earlier. Let's light the lamp now.
A couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shoot! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, Marsh. What's the latest standings?
All right, well, we have not talked about the debacle that happened on Friday where, Anthony, you actually had a point, and then you didn't. As that goal was given to Dalibor Dvorsky, who Jamie chose.
Let's go, baby.
Jamie's now in the lead.
Yeah, let's go, Carey.
15 points for Jamie. Carey with 13. Anthony, you have 4, and I have 6.
Okay. Go ahead, Jamie.
Give me Jake Neighbors.
Oh. I thought he was going to do it because then I was going to do something. Then I was going to pivot. Give me Dalibor Dvorsky.
Oh, you piece of... I was almost going to do that. Yeah. Kid's hot right now.
He is.
Tonight's the night, gentlemen.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Tonight's the night.
CP55, baby.
Colton Parayko. This guy knows me.
Yep.
Let's go with Nick Bjugstad.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well, man. Seriously.
do it.
I like that he got into that fight the other night, too. Big boys chucking knucks.
Let's go. Blue Stars pregame at 6. puck drop at 7 right here on 101 ESPN. We got Bet the Board next. Carey, I know we were talking about this yesterday. You're excited to head down to Mentality, get your blood drawn, sit down with the fantastic people at Mentality, and just kind of see where things are at. And actually, you already did that last week, so you went through the process. It was easy, and now you're actually going to go and get on the program, and I know you're excited about it. If you're waking up constantly tired or you're exhausted, you don't have the motivation to get inside the gym, and you've tried different things, it's not working for you, do what Carey and I did. Go to Mentality, sit down with their board-certified physicians, and allow them to see what's going on. Draw your blood, super easy. If you are low in testosterone, they put you on the program. And Carey, I've been on the program now for a couple of years. I love it. This is where Mentality comes in. You start to feel more energized, start to feel like a younger version of yourself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I went in last week, got the blood drawn. Simple process, didn't take long. Got me in, got me out, and soon enough, I'll know exactly where I am, where I stand, and what program I need to be on so that I can get rid of this dad bod, get back to the old me, get to feeling like I used to feel when I was 25, 35, and you get back to getting back to feeling how you felt. So I'm looking forward to it. Going in there Friday, getting ready to figure out where I need to go, and it's easy. All new patient labs will be applied to their treatment costs, a $250 value. So stop in, get your blood work done, and see where you are and see what you need to get going to feel like your old self.
Absolutely. Like Carey just said, right now, all new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan. As Carey just noted, it's worth repeating. That's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. So schedule your appointment now, lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com. Tell them Carey and Anthony sent you in there. 2 different locations, one in Chesterfield, one in South County. It's Mentality.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Blues in action tonight taking on the Dallas Stars. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you will find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have Bet the Board coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Jamie took an even larger lead over me last night. Not so with Carey, because Carey won, and he effectively eliminated Andrew Marsh from competition. So, Marsh, latest standings.
All right. Board. Jamie has 12. Anthony, you, myself, and Carey all have 7. So, Jamie could eliminate Carey tonight with a win.
Okay. That's because Carey and Marsh used their parlay.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. Carey's eliminated.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not enough days left?
Yeah, not enough days. Yeah, Carey's eliminated.
Oh, that's tough, man.
You're the last hope, Anthony.
Oh.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I thought that Carey was still alive. Sorry to do that to you, Carey.
Carey, I didn't do it. I don't see you did it to yourself.
Sorry, Carey.
On you, Anthony.
All right.
Nobody's stopping this wrecking train. Look at them.
NHL action tonight. LA Kings are visiting the Detroit Red Wings, the Little Caesars Arena in Motown. Give me them Red Wings on the money line, -125.
Who are they playing?
The LA Kings.
I like the Kings.
You're just trying to be...
Give me the Kings on the money line. It ain't my turn. Unless you want them, Anthony. You
No. Carey, it's all you.
Give me the Kings. I always like that Luke Robitaille. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hell of a player.
Yari Curry.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Ever heard of him?
What a team.
Yeah.
What
You ever heard of him?
a team.
Let's see here. Jonathan Quick. Now a Ranger.
What's your play, Anthony?
He's thinking about more.
I was. Yeah. I'm going to take Mizzou plus 10.5 against Alabama.
Kings, I bet. Were you going to take the Kings?
I wasn't. No.
I said you could have him if you wanted.
I can play this straight up until Friday, and then Friday it's Lanker get off the pot time.
Okay, fine.
I always
What's with the
lose, so
attitude?
No attitude. Just explaining my thought process.
No, there's attitude.
Jamie, I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what you hear.
No, but I heard it.
What'd you say, Anthony? Mizzou who?
The Mizzou Tigers. They're in Tuscaloosa tonight. Mizzou plus 10.5. It's a big number.
It is.
who are they playing?
Alabama.
In Alabama?
Who else would be in Tuscaloosa?
I didn't hear where he said it.
I was like, come on,
I wasn't
Carey.
listening to anything, actually.
It's all good, Carey.
All right.
I didn't hear a word he
The
said.
University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa, and that is
It
where
is.
Mizzou is playing tonight, in Alabama.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, the LA Kings are taking on the Detroit Red Wings tonight.
They are?
Give me the LA Kings minus 1.5 at plus 265. They're going to win by 2 goals tonight, Anthony.
Wow.
You sure are.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Not that it matters.
It matters. It all matters.
A little
it
bitter.
all matters.
A little bitter right
Nobody's
now.
bitter.
Anthony, we're trying to help you out.
We're trying to, you got to win.
How does that help Anthony? Just out of curiosity.
What?
Because it's not like you winning blocks me.
No, it's just the spirit of the game.
Spirit of the game. I like it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
fine
kind of
with
like the spirit of St. Louis.
I just don't know why all three of you have to be like ganging up on me. Like, why can't somebody like be happy for me? Like, you're only happy with my misery? Is that what it is?
No.
They're competitors.
Yeah.
You appreciate it. You would feel the same way.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You want to win? We want to win?
Yeah, but you can't win. So now why are you trying to impede me from winning?
Well, I clearly suck at this game, so...
Well,
I
Jamie,
didn't say that.
whatever I
Carey,
pick...
I think you show a lot of promise.
You actually...
That's
I
true.
might have done you.
Yeah,
I
you're
might be
helping
helping
him. You should have said Bama.
Kind of did.
Anthony, it is
Blocked him from
tough.
taking it.
It's tough when you start every month knowing that you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Much like in Major League Baseball.
I knew exactly
I
where
know,
you were
guys,
going.
there's a lot of parity in this game.
Is there?
Not at all.
It's been a good run.
It's rough.
Yeah,
we gotta come up with a plan.
You've been outstanding.
How much more hockey we got?
A lot.
Damn it.
Sport goes on forever.
It is, man. It's a long-ass season, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long season, yeah.
Not as long as soccer. I feel like soccer stops and then a week later it starts up.
Yeah,
again.
it's weird. They have these long pauses. Like, you're like, what the hell is going on?
They have games within the season.
Yeah,
They have
tournaments
regular
within the
season games.
friendlies.
Weird.
There's nothing friendly about it, though,
None of the
right?
games really count. I don't get it.
I don't know. We just lost one of our best players, too.
That's a shame.
Although he's been hurt, really, for almost 2 years straight. So,
Klauser?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Galaxy now.
Oh, no. He went to L.A.? Son of a...
But we got $2.3 million.
Oh, he's working.
Oh, all right. Hey, you can do a lot with $2.3
That ain't
million.
nothing.
Maybe we'll get a striker.
Like Klaus?
Yeah.
Another one?
A healthier striker.
Yeah. Klaus didn't get around the field or the pitch so easily.
I'm glad you corrected yourself. Yeah.
Kind of like Kirk Gibson running around out there.
Oh, jeez.
That guy hit a huge home run, though.
He did.
He did.
One-handed almost, too.
Yep. He willed it fair.
Terrible swing. Everything. It was awful. It really was. Go back and watch that. He takes one hand. He can barely stand up in the batter's box. What was that pitcher doing? Pitch him inside the whole time. That old man's not getting around on the ball.
Hey.
He's not.
That pitcher said, this guy clearly has been smoking cigs and hammering beers in the clubhouse.
Who was
He's
the
not
pitcher?
ready.
Was
I don't
it Dennis
even know.
Eckersley?
Was it the Eck?
I can't remember.
Oh, man, we should know this. We're on sports and stuff.
We should.
We should
Let's
know
see
everything.
here. Kirk
Stats and
Gibson,
facts.
1988 World Series home run. Let's see here. Oh, I got an ad.
Who were they playing again? Was it the A's?
Nobody knows.
It was Ricardo Lockett was on the mound.
It was the Eck.
It was.
It
Okay.
was, yeah. It was the Eck. Kirk Gibson, lifetime home runs, 6 home runs. You love these graphics that I'm watching. 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, and 20 postseason games.
It's pretty good.
Darn right, it's good. Yep. A young Mark McGuire at first base.
Look at that.
Good stuff. Good stuff, people.
Back when you guys liked the Dodgers.
Nobody liked the Dodgers then.
I
I
like the
didn't.
Dodgers, Carey.
Yeah.
My defense, I wasn't even alive.
No, you were not.
Yeah, but even in womb, you hated them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody likes the Dodgers. Except for Carey.
I like the current version of the Dodgers. I didn't like them in the 80s or the 90s.
What's the problem with that? I actually liked them in the 80s.
I was a Cardinals fan. Still am.
Yeah, Eck. Eck went rooster high.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Middle.
Wouldn't you go, on the hands
Seen
all
a
day
few
long?
of those this past year.
Did you see
Yeah,
how
a little
bad
bit.
that swing was? He swipes down at it one-handed almost.
Yeah. That's when men were men.
Pretty impressive.
That was very impressive.
It certainly was. All right. Now that we've broken down that, let's wrap this show right up. Next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Vehicles priced under $20,000. Payments below $300 a month. Every new vehicle with 0% for 60 months. At the Frank Leah Automotive Outlet in Bridgeton. It's not a dream. New and pre-owned vehicles, all with just $1 down. Only the best Chevys, Fords, Chryslers, Dodge, Jeeps, Hondas, Toyotas, Kias, Hyundais, Mitsubishis, even BMWs and Mercedes. Most come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The Frank Leah Automotive Outlet has it all. Cars, trucks, and SUVs. Don't worry about credit. Just ask for credit amnesty. If you've got a job and a dime, you're right. We want your trade, regardless.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. The podcast brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned today that everybody just wants to see me fail. They don't believe in me, and they don't want me to be successful, and that they hate me.
Jamie, I'm really sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do this.
I don't like that for you.
You're not saying it's not true.
Marsh and Carey, I hope you're listening to what this man just said, okay? He's pouring his heart out to you guys right now.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
There it is again. I actually learned that Carey might listen less than I do.
It's a legit possibility. Marsh, what'd you learn?
I learned that Carey's consistent. He's been consistent for over a year now when it comes to your St. Louis Blues. And we love consistency.
Yeah, we do.
Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's pretty low as he can go right now on the Blues. Totally. But not, you talk about that line, Carey. You know what I mean? Don't cross that line. I believe that there's a little bit of that belief in Carey. He has not crossed the line yet.
We ain't crossing it either. I learned that, but I ain't crossed the line. I learned that the audio from a year ago, almost to the day, sounds damn near exactly like what I said a week ago.
Can we please not use it again next year?
So much and so, I actually thought it was from this season. In actuality, it was last year. But you could kind of apply it as needed.
Yeah.
That's our consistent Carey for you.
Yeah, there he is. I'm only speaking about what I see.
Yeah.
The consistency is actually from your St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately.
Jimmy?
And hopefully that same consistency that we saw after the Four Nations tournament will also be there this year on a consistent basis after the Olympic break.
Let's do it.
Yeah. The thing that I learned today is former pitcher Kyle Gibson of your St. Louis Cardinals hates me.
Yeah. I don't think he hates you.
Or my takes, either way. And to that, I would say, Kyle, 1, I love you. 2, get in line.
He's got to send an email to really be on time.
I got an email one time.
Did you?
Yeah, from a listener.
Patrick Gates.
I think Jamie got a text.
I got a text here. We're doing criticisms, compliments.
Sure.
Ooh.
Get one here from the 317 and a Colts fan. Anthony is not an idiot. He just doesn't think right when it comes to baseball.
That's kind of a compliment and a criticism.
Just a random 317 Colts fan.
It's a crap sandwich there.
Oh, wait, Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson.
If you missed our conversation with Kyle Gibson, he was awesome today. He's a regular listener to the show, and he had some great numbers and takes when it comes to
it was fun, man.
Major
It was a
League
great
Baseball.
discussion.
Yeah, Major League Baseball owners not getting off their rich dead asses and making their sport better.
Blame them. You know, I think you should lose your team. Give it to somebody that wants to win.
Just give it to somebody?
Just give it away.
You've been forced to hand over the keys to the stadium.
Yeah. Sorry about your loss.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. You don't want to win, do you?
Yeah. All right.
Give me a chance.
Marshy.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right. Our 3rd star of the day goes out to a local product, the St. Louis fencing team.
Yeah. Let's hope we don't see that tonight.
Don't want that.
Nope.
All right, real quick here. 2nd star of the day goes out to Parody in all of sports, of course. And our 1st star of the day goes out to Jamie wrestling an alligator.
Yeah, we got visual proof.
He's nuts.
Yeah. I had the same thought as you when you were telling that story, though. Like, okay, what now?
What now?
What now? You got
Didn't think that far ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, you got the.
It's the story of my life.
I don't know what to do.
Look at what do I do now? I'll figure it out.
We got Blues hockey pregame coming up at 6 o'clock. See you.